do 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 do. Test 1 2. Now you say stuff.
I'm saying stuff like, what did you do with all my tabs?
It's my laptop. They're my tabs. To do with as I please.
I might use it more often than you.
What?
You could just leave my tabs open. I use them like twice a week. For you.
Do you understand that this laptop is a tiny-brained little creature? It cannot handle many tabs all the time. It needs a break
like
occasionally.
you.
It needs to take a breather.
It's like you.
Did you just say it's like me, a tiny-brained creature that needs to take a break occasionally?
That's what you said.
No, you... I'll just leave it at that. No, you. What are you going to do about that?
I'm gonna put my tabs back.
They're not your tabs. They're just tabs. They're tabs that could belong to anyone. And I was in charge of the laptop for a time, so...
Oh, I have to relog in too. You were mean to me.
Well, I didn't know you'd have to relog in. I can't predict every complication.
It's 3 tabs. You could have just left it open.
I couldn't predict that this situation would arise. It was impossible. Hey, good
Tiny,
evening,
small
everybody.
brain creature just like your laptop.
Say what?
Tiny, small brain creature just like your laptop.
Keep on, like, implying that I'm a tiny, small-brained creature.
You're the one that said it.
No, you said it, and then I observed you saying it, and then you're like, oh, so you are the one that said it. No, that's called gaslighting. You're getting...
Did it work?
Yes, I'm confused. It's like, wait a minute. She's calling me dumb, but when I'm like, you're calling me dumb, she's like, no, you. What? And that is how Liz
Okay, so explain
retains
the
control.
feet.
Explain
The 3 feats, because everybody is trying to correct you, and then everybody else is correcting you for you.
You guys don't know the master plan, okay? In the end, there's only going to be 2 feet at a time. I'm seeing it like 4th dimensionally. I'm beyond the time stream, so that's what's happening.
Oh yeah, I did like the boots on that V pick that Happy Guy one did. There was an AI pick and she had some really like cool looking thigh-high boots.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, to be fair, like I think there was a Nama with similar boots, so those are just a really good look.
Thigh-high boots just always look cool. They always make you look like you're a superhero of some variety.
Well, yeah, but the thing about these boots was that it fit the little toes that she has. It looked like she was.
Oh, did you just cut out? It fit the little toes that she has, and hello?
Are you there?
Yeah, you're back now.
I can't hear. I'm having weird issues.
Uh-oh. Tech issues. Look out.
That's weird.
Maybe the Wi-Fi just had a hiccup or something.
It's probably because I'm trying to fix your tabs. It ruined me.
No, because you're doing the call through the normal computer, not through the laptop. Who's gaslighting now?
So I have heard that we're going to be animating these feet tonight and maybe doing a background.
That is the plan. The plan is to first paint a background, and then after the background is painted, shade the character so that she matches and everything looks cool. And then maybe pop a timeline on there or make a couple of frames with just some really simple animation. I'm just thinking a couple frames of the foot going back and forth and maybe some sparkle on the ocean, and that's probably about it.
That's cool.
And then
I think I have a background blue in too.
Yeah, I've got a little bit of a blue line sketch as a guide, but I don't know why. Usually I draw the backgrounds in pencil, but on this one I just felt like doing it all digitally. It seemed like maybe a little bit more of a painterly impressionistic style was the ticket here.
But I think a lot of it's going to be water and sky, and a lot of that is serious painting anyway.
Mm-hmm. So that is my plan.
Mamo, I don't know what your intention is or challenge. I don't know what you mean. They say that she looks like an average frilly girl that the MC is supposed to have a crush on. The main character is supposed to have a crush on.
Yeah, I mean, she's a Nizuna from Brand New Animal, so I just took her, put her in like a sundress for sort of summer theming, and that is that. I'm making her popsicle teal though. Seems right. I don't know why.
I told you. Only eat candy foods that match your eye color because it looks good. Okay. Oh, what flavor is teal?
What flavor is teal?
Yeah.
Teal is the flavor of summer. It's the flavor is officially called Tropical Escape, if you must know.
Oh, okay. Well, this is coming from the man who can't have popsicles.
I could have popsicles if they were frozen specifically of the ingredients that I specify, like
Kale
greens, cruciferous vegetables. If you juicied out a cruciferous vegetable, you could have some badass popsicles for me.
Kale popsicle.
Yeah, exactly. I'm putting detail into the flip-flops because I'm insane.
And the animating flip-flops?
Well, I mean, animation to the degree where I drew the foot twice, and I'm just going to alternate between the frames. So, yes.
Oh.
What? I'm not making you animate it.
No, you're just giving yourself more work because, why not?
No,
I mean,
I'm
somebody
not.
already told you not to animate it. You
It's
were like,
barely more work. It's a teeny tiny little...
Oh, you say that every time.
It's a
and then
tiny
day
gumdrop
later.
of barely more work at all. And I have a lot to do,
dear.
but I can do a tiny gumdrop more work on this fan art.
You're terrible.
I am not terrible. You're the
not.
terrible one. They call you Terrible Liz. Right, chat?
You
don't
can't
you
help.
don't you call her Terrible Liz? I think that's what you guys call her.
Can't help yourself. Willie Silver is saying that a teal popsicle would be blueberry flavored, and I gotta tell you, there would be a lot of fake fruit flavoring in that thing if it's teal.
Blueberry flavored. I don't know. Blueberries have a pretty good baseline flavor already.
I don't think it would be teal colored.
Teal colored.
They know which episode this character appears.
Oh, they know the episode she's in. Officially knowing more than I do.
That's okay. Apparently she has 3 feet now, so I'm just gonna let that go.
Oh yeah? Can you count? 1, 2. Looks like David wins again.
Oh, I'm on a delay, so I see 3.
Well, refresh your magical social interaction machine then. I don't know what to
No,
tell
I'm
you.
gonna go to the other tab that's a little faster.
You're going to the other tab. That's the faster tab. There's like different speeds on the tabs. Who wins the race?
YouTube update quicker. YouTube.
Yeah. Also,
Which is
if anyone is watching us on YouTube or Twitter or where else are we streaming? Twitch. We tend to watch the comments in Picardo a little more closely. That's sort of our home base. But if you want to be in those other places,
I'm watching all of them, but Picardo is indeed the main show where everybody is, which is why it appears on the screen.
yeah, if you want your chats to explode onto the little chat box on stream, Picardo is the place to be.
Yeah, they're doing those cute Dreamkeeper AI animations right now. in
Yeah,
the
I saw those.
Dreamboard.
Those look really adorable. Like, granted, I don't think we're exactly there yet, but I do think there's eventually going to be a point where we are doing more animation stuff and increasing our animation capabilities. And AI is actually becoming more and more useful as a tool for that sort of thing. And I think at that point, we're going to get like a nice stage where the technology is approaching the level we want it to get. We're doing more animation stuff anyways, and I just think there's going to be a crossover where we can do some cool Dreamkeepers animation.
So, Dave, who is the pink kitty? Who is this?
This is Nizuna from Brand New Animal. Clip Studio is saving recovery information. Hurry up, Clip Studio. I want to paint clouds. I want to paint clouds. Clip Studio, hurry up. It's preventing me from painting clouds.
I know.
There we go. Now I can paint clouds.
It's mean to you. It's hate on you, Dave. Why can't you be like every other artist and just do pinups and never draw clouds? Which apparently I think clouds are pretty easy, but
Because I
people
love
just can't
to
handle
draw
that.
clouds. They're just pretty. Like I was running around in the forest today, and there was beautiful clouds, and I like them, and there you go.
And then it rained.
Not on me as I was running, although that would have been really magical and pleasant, actually. It's all fine to get rained on and damp outside when you have a dry interior waiting in your near future. It's another thing if you have to like be out there on guard duty all day or something. At that point,
Yeah.
then you really want to stay dry, obviously. But when it's just a little temporary thing, it's not a big deal. Also, I hope you guys enjoyed the captain's log we posted earlier today. I think we're gonna keep making those. I have a lot of fun making them.
So, Dave, how is that crystal pick going? You should tell them what happened.
The crystal pick. The crystal pick is mission accomplished. It's ready to rock, and I think we are going to have a blue space fox in the Vivid After Dark store for Black Friday. So if you guys wanted a blue space fox body pillow, that could be in your future. I think too,
Are
because
we gonna have prints?
yeah, not ever like well, you know, are you asking? Are you pretending to ask me?
No, I am actually asking you because you make the decisions on what you want to do in the store like that, and I'm the one that does the printing, so I have no idea. What
I'm just like Ozzy Osbourne was. I'm making my own decisions.
I know you love that song. He sounds like such an old grandpa.
I'm
when
making
he
my
sang that
own
song.
decisions.
Apple juice or applesauce, Grandpa. I want cranberry. That's slippers or socks. You know, it's that level.
Yeah, but yeah, I think we'll have an art print there too, because usually the Dockies make pretty good art prints if you just like put them side by side, and then that way some people want it as a body pillow, some people might just be like, hey, I like the art, but I don't really need a body pillow, and then they can get an art print added to their binder.
Yeah, you're highly collectible. We know. I like the art prints. It's like you can see the art, but it's not like a big merchandise pillow item that takes up space. I'm all about saving space. The chat's having some internet problems.
Really? Chat's having internet? Maybe it's just a universal bad day for internet or something.
You chose a bad day to stream.
Oops.
Fortunately, this is just clouds.
There were
So,
good days
nothing
to stream, and then there's the days that David chooses to stream. Watery brush. Watery brush, what are you doing? Opacity is up. Something. Something about the settings. I'm gonna hit the tool. Blending mode, erase, that might be it. How about
You gonna
normal?
put the words on there?
There we go. Yeah, I'm
Well, that
gonna do
looks
the
like
words on a separate layer though. There we go.
That
It was
could be a
on
good desktop. You're gonna do that and that. That, hey, by the way, that is not print size. What are you doing?
It's desktop sized.
Oh,
And then we can make a print version of it later. Mom. So this can be a print
wow.
and a desktop. Well, I got
Okay.
that brush working, and now I decided I don't like that brush.
Hey,
Just checking.
Dave.
Hey, me.
I want
yes?
you to go. I want you to go into the Picardo chat and click on the link that Mamo gave you, and you can see what you drew animated right now.
What? Huh?
Go look at that.
Continue. Oh, cool.
look.
Hey, no kidding. Wow. That's way faster.
Your worker, your worker is done. Your worker is done, honey.
Ta-da! Mission accomplished.
Stream over.
Stream over. That's really cool. Thanks, Mamo. Yeah, see, like, it's impressive seeing AI get to the point where it can do stuff like that, especially
That is fast.
when it can, like, work with an existing drawing or, like, existing backdrops. I know, like, obviously it's not, like, completely easy to get really exact nuanced results, but as the technology progresses, I think the tools might refine more, and I'm just hoping it gets to a point where people can design real, specific characters and animations and sequences and all this stuff, and effectively I hope that these tool sets can bring really high quality animated results into reach for more indie artists. I think it's going that direction.
I think the YouTube chat is recognizing who it is. It's Nazuna from BNA. Yes, that's what the Patreon voted on this month.
Yep, backers. Every month the backers get to submit ideas for what they would like us to do as a fan art piece, and then we let them vote on our top 5, and Nazuna won. It was pretty good competition this round. There's always like some good options out there.
And then we send them the print when this is done, if they're on the art attack level.
Yeah, if you're
Patreon.
if you're on the art attack tier, then you'll get
Or
an
higher.
exclusive art print of that art every month. Art attack tier or higher, yes. Yeah,
Yep,
someone
and
asked
then
the
I
other
have
day,
heard
they're like,
that-
"Hey, at the pledge pin tier, do I still get the art attacks?" And it's like, yeah, when you go higher, you get more stuff. You don't get less stuff for like higher tiers. That would be lame. That would be a lame way to structure it. So in case there's any question, the closer you get to rockstar status, the more things you are entitled to in the Patreon. But I will say, I hope you guys got a kick out of the little captain's log post earlier. I like that as a way to kind of just have some videos where I keep people up to date on what we're doing, because we're doing a lot, and I should probably tell people what we're up to. But the other thing is, it's like a tiny little foot in the door with video and like sort of close to animation content, because a lot of that is like animations that we've done for Tectomic that we're sort of like repurposing. So I feel like if I get more and more of that stuff kind of in the pipeline in a sustainable way, then we have our foot in the door and we can start looking at ways to kind of work with it and expand it out a little bit from there.
What kind of program do you use? Explain this one and then tell them what else you do.
This is Clip Studio, and I like to use it for most of my illustration and stuff.
You can do animation in here too.
Yeah, you can do a little animation in Clip Studio, which is very nice. Well, and I know there's different versions of it. Some of them have more features than others. And then a lot of my animation, like the more heavy-duty animation, I will tend to use Blender for, because Blender is just a really buff program for animation. They've got a nice little 2D animation suite in Blender called Grease Pencil that I took it upon myself to learn. Actually, I learned it because I wanted to start getting Tectomic episodes produced, and I was like, hey, what if we had other people that knew how to use the animation software, and what if the animation software was, because Blender's free, in case you didn't know, Blender's like actually open source, it's free, anyone can download it, you can own it, you can learn it. It's a pain in the butt to learn because there's so many things you can do in it. But Once you learn it, it's pretty awesome. And that's how we've been making some
Dave.
of our 2D animations.
Dave, you're saying her name wrong.
I'm saying my name wrong?
No, her name. 3-syllable Japanese names are typically stressed on the first syllable. So it's Nazuna. Nazuna. So it's Nazuna.
I say it the way I say it. And I draw it the way I draw it.
Yeah.
I hope you guys like Nazuna.
It's your original character, Nazuna.
Yeah. They really want it to be like Nazuna. Is that what we have to do now?
Do not steal.
You guys could also be completely trolling me on the pronunciation. I would never know.
I know. Just making you do stuff.
The show looks fun. I tried watching a little bit of it, but honestly, the first episode was okay. It was fun, but it didn't. The story didn't really grip me, so I didn't feel compelled to continue watching more of it. I like the character designs and everything, but I was just kind of sort of not really interested to see where it went. David's lackluster consuming habits confirmed.
I know, you're terrible.
But I did really enjoy reading A Wizard of Earthsea last few months. Like, now I finished it. Like, when I first recorded that, I was like getting into the second book, The Tombs of Atuan. I don't know how to pronounce that either. Atuan?
Just make it up as you go.
Not that I think there's
Who's
a
going
lot
to correct you? Your mind?
No, my mind is not going to correct me, that's for sure.
So how is your... Hold on, let me look. How is the crowdfund game going, Dave?
Skirmish is going... Well, we've actually got a few games out there that are being in the process of being worked on. We got Skirmish, the Dreamkeepers crowdfunded game, and that's going good. The engine is continuing to be tinkered on and built up behind the scenes. And also Yark Adventures. I have been told, I don't want to be hyping it up too much, but I have been informed that we may have a significant update for Yark Adventures this October. So we will see how that goes.
Maybe a demo?
Maybe. Like, that's what is supposed to happen, is an updated demo. But like I said, I don't want to like hype it up too much or overbuild the expectations for that, because I know it's a lot of work for people to make video games.
It's not really up to us. Thank you for turning off her extra leg, by the way. That was really weird, and everyone was asking questions, trying to help you. Like you got it wrong.
People can't handle the fourth dimensional time skip realities. That's what I tell myself.
YouTube knows more about speaking this Japanese language more than you do, so we're just gonna let them argue with themselves over here, and we're just gonna pretend we already know. And then, you know what? We'll pick a winner based on who is the loudest.
Are you sure we should pretend that we already know? I'm not sure if I can pull that off.
I know. We'll just be like, yes,
oh yes,
definitely.
I know all about the Japanese language. I know.
You should just be like, oh, that's a really good point every time they reply to themselves.
I know all about the pronunciation. That's how you say pronunciation in Japanese. That's I figured that out.
That was you?
Yeah, that was me. I invented it. I invented bad accents. It's my contribution to humanity.
I hope when you do the print, you knock the words off, though, because those words are...
Probably. I feel like the words are probably going to be in the, like, animated version of it, maybe in the desktop version of it. There might be a version of the desktop version without words if people like that, but we will see.
That would be good. I would like that.
Oh yeah, I feel like this just brushy look on the background is going to work fairly well, because, you know, it's going to make it feel more like a hand-painted background contrasted with traditional animation art. So I think this might be a good look.
Yeah, I have to say, if you had left that up to me, there wasn't a lot for me to do there. That's more of a Dave show, and it would take me days to color those stupid clouds that you always put in.
Yeah, the real test, I think, is going to be when I start doing the foreground city stuff. Like, does that look good with an impressionistic brushy style, or is it sort of like not quite detailed enough? I guess we'll find out. I have a feeling that I can brush it in and have it look pretty good with a slightly impressionistic brush style.
I mean, how are you on, I mean, I'm sure you can do perspective with a brush. I know you can, but I'm so used to seeing you do line art with the measure and ruler and a triangle.
Yeah, well, I already have I'm actually going to just base the perspective off of my thumbnail. Because that's what I did, is I actually blew up the thumbnail to like the full size here. Just to use this as like a guide for where to place things. So the perspective's already mainly done. It might not be like super precise rigid, but you know, it might give it a bit more of an organic feel anyway, which might be nice.
What is the level that they can vote at?
Voting, I believe that is at the art polls level. The Patreon level goes level 1. You're a backer, you get to see the daily artifacts, because there's art that goes up there every single day that not everyone out in the world sees. So you get to see that.
You can talk in the Discord.
Yeah, also you get Discord access, so you get to chill in the Dream Court and talk to people, and I don't know, there's a lot of fun stuff going on in there. And ooh, I'm gonna add more lighting on these clouds, just a little bit more lighting on these clouds. Screen mode. Then a pretty popular level is the next level up from a normal backer is the high resolution, and at that point you get downloads of like Clip Studio files and blend files and basically the actual files for most of the art that we post. You can get access to that and play around in the layers, or you know, whatever. You get access to some of the variants that we post up in the Dream Court as well. So high resolution tier is pretty popular. And yeah, then the next one above that's where you get to vote in the art polls. So I think it's called the art polls tier, just to keep it simple. And then then you start getting really lofty. Then the art attack is the next one up from there, and that's when you actually start getting merchandise in the mail, which is fun. I like mailing people stuff. So yeah.
They're saying congrats on the lawsuit, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Since the past filing.
Yeah, it's too bad that it even had to, like, you know, occur at all. But it's nice that we stood up for ourselves and fought it out and won.
Yeah, we learned a lot. We made friends.
Yeah, I learned a lot. Vivid now has much better legal connections than it did before.
Oh, I love them.
So it's on one hand, you could say, oh, this whole lawsuit, even having to deal with it, we shouldn't have had to, and it was a waste of time. It's like, well, yes, it was a waste of time and silly and I think frivolous and various things, but I don't know. If it's going to happen, might as well win it, and we did, so good ending.
Other hand, it's very funny.
That's true. Hey, I'm answering chat, though. So if they go the next step higher on Patreon from the $5, do they get the not safe for work art file itself?
Yeah, high resolution backers do get access to that. Usually what happens is you get one art file, and then in the layers, there's like a folder that has the not safe for work variants in different layers. And also, because some people don't have Clip Studio, so if you're at the high resolution level, we also post JPEGs of the saucy variants in the Dream Court for the high resolution backers.
I hope you're over 18.
Otherwise, you'll be kicked out. But also, not every
executed.
Oh, you're bomb.
Executed. Not every art piece has a not safe for work variant. Like this one is just going to be what you see is what you get, because it's not every piece really lends itself to you know, like a saucy variant. Some of them just have a different vibe. Some of them the angle doesn't make sense for that sort of thing. So we just kind of play by ear.
It's good. It's good to like. It's good to not like try to cram that, force that, because like I see a lot of people who'll draw like they try to like they start out drawing like what they want to draw, right?
Yeah. And
then they try to force like a not for like, well, I have patrons now, they're expecting this, so they try to force like a not safe for work version of every single thing. And then what that does is it at first it just makes everything look like it's forced, right? And then later on, as you go down that evolutionary path of an artist, that particular path, you get to a place where everything you draw must be something that now does lend itself well, because you look back and realize how cringe the forcing of the shit is that you made, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like those people who draw, and I'm not calling any particular person out here, but I see this. I used to see this a lot on Twitter. I don't see this a lot anymore because I think people kind of woke up to how stupid it was. But they would draw like a thing, and then they would just remove. They would have, it would have to lend itself well to not safe for work. Okay, then they just draw it without the clothes, and then they draw it the girl with a cock, and then they draw this, and then they draw that. It's like nothing. It's like it's the same drawing. It's just they add like one thing, and then it's just nothing. I don't know. It's one of those things where it's just like popcorn, and then people are paying crazy amounts of money for it and shit, versus like things being kind of tasteful and shit. I don't know how to describe it really. I wish I could verbalize it better, but stuff like that, it just makes me. I look at that versus like stuff that I kind of see like coming out now and stuff I saw coming out like 10-20 years ago, like what's the guy's name, Eric Schwartz, how he was doing like the Sabrina Online stuff. That was like an example of a different sort of problem with porn, I think. But like the stuff there had like intent, it had vision, it had taste. It was like someone made this because they wanted to make this and show it to people. And I'm not saying it's bad that Patreon exists or anything, but ever since the invention of that, you just kind of have a lot of people who just get into art for the express purpose of like sort of just making money off the art.
Yeah, it's definitely a balance, because on the one hand, if you want to continue making art full time, like, well, you have to eat food. Food's not just going to rain from the sky. Not everyone can just chill and never pay a bill. So yeah, you gotta do something that's monetized. People have to be able to show their support in some way. And I think it's also, and sometimes it's good to remember, it's like, hey, this is for people to enjoy. So is this something that people would value at all? Am I doing something that people would like to consume, that they would like to value? So, and then there's like the other side of it where it's like, well, I want to make something that's not just catering to like the most base of appetites, like the lowest common denominator. I also want to make something that's worthwhile. And sometimes it's a little bit harder for that to catch on, right? Because if you're just going for the lowest common denominator, what is one thing that will catch people's attention in a split second? Well, you have to be able to do that, because on social media, if it doesn't engage people's brain, if it doesn't activate their neurons in literally a split second, then no one's ever going to look at it, and they're never going to go and look at anything else. So yeah. I think that, but what it takes to grow on social media is kind of one thing, and then what it takes to deliver to people like a valuable, like deep, engaging, meaningful, immersive experience, that's something completely different. So right now artists are in kind of like a really challenging, I'm going to say it's like a challenging thing to try to build an audience on social media using like 1/10 of a second response time, but then also try to maintain content where when people finally build enough trust to like read, like to like okay, they're not just investing 1/10 of a second. Now they're going to invest a whole 5 seconds in like, well, I wonder what this character's name is. And then eventually they might invest like a whole 5 minutes and start reading some comics. And so the trick is to try to build a relationship of trust with people where they actually get rewarded at every level of engagement. And then that leads them to the longer form content that is really rewarding and meaningful and good. And that's kind of like the balance I'm trying to hit with Patreon. Is it's like, well, we have to make money. I have to give people things that they value in a more immediate sense, and that's why occasionally we make like some fan service and a not safe for work piece here and there. But at the same time, like that is sort of in the service of trying to craft even more fulfilling longer form content and maintain it. So it's sort of a balancing act.
I think there's an art to the art.
Yeah, there's an art to the art. And I don't think earlier generations of artists had this exact challenge. I suppose they probably had.
They didn't have these capabilities. Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't have these capabilities. I want to say in earlier generations, a lot of the marketplace for art was more functional. Like if you maybe I'm wrong here, or like just misremembering, but I feel like there's been points, right, where there's a functional publishing industry, and it's like, oh, if there's stuff that's really really good, it will rise to the top. It'll get a publishing deal, an agent will get it into a big company, and then it'll get put into stores where people go to look for good stuff, and like the system works, and that doesn't exist anymore. At this point, it's like any artist expecting that result from a publishing company, it's like, oh, you don't know what publishing companies do anymore. Like they don't have the ability to command an audience anymore. Not really. Not like they did in like the 90s and early 2000s. Now it's really like people, you got to build your own audience.
People don't really go into bookstores anymore looking for what's new. They just go there for Legos.
Well, I mean, most people don't go into
For
bookstores. Most people don't go into bookstores anymore. Like, period, full stop. That's why so many bookstores are going out of business.
Hazen, have you been in a Barnes & Noble? They have Legos.
They're turning into game.
No, I've never been in a Barnes & Noble.
They're turning into like game and toy stores with like a book section.
Or did they used to be like completely just books? How big were the stores?
Huge, like mall sized.
Yeah, it's huge.
What? Like a whole mall?
Not like an entire mall, but like a big
Target sized?
Yeah, like the inside of like maybe like half a Kmart's worth, something like that.
Dave?
Yeah?
People are asking Mammo over and over again why Cinter assaulted Kaylee. What can you tell him?
I can tell him that Volume 5 it's supposed to sort of speak for itself, so you need to read just look at what the characters are saying, because they're even Nainso is even talking with
that's
Tia.
Free already on the website.
Yep, it's free to read now. So Nainso's even talking with Tia in some of the opening scenes about, there might be like a major problem if Cinter realizes these certain things, because he might then think it's a best case course of action to do this. So I'm not going to be sitting here telling you which characters are right and wrong, but their logic is sort of laid out in the books, or sometimes it's not, and then it's a mystery as opposed to like, oh, what were these characters thinking?
I think Cinter believes if he kills Kaylee, he would save the world.
Well, I mean, I don't need to explain it to you. You wrote it with me.
I don't want to do spoilers, so I'm just trying to run it by you to see if that's safe to,
It depends on for anyone that has not read through the books, like all of this is already spoilers. If you've read through Volume 5,
it's
just
pretty
like
spelled out too.
If you've read through Volume 5, just like go and read it and pay attention, and it's pretty easy to grasp.
Yeah, it's like it's pretty explicit, like why he, the juxtaposition of him like reading through things as Nainso and Tia are talking.
No, I think these are new readers asking Mammo, like, what's going on when they see the pictures that week.
Well, how would they even know that happened if they didn't get to Volume 5? I don't think there's very much fan art of that.
Oh, if it's people that are just completely like, oh, I see art relating to this thing that happened in the books. Why did this happen? It's like, read the books.
What is going on?
It's like, what is going on? Why would the characters do this thing in this story that I have not read, but I see something happening and I don't understand why they are doing it? It's like, at that point, it's easy answer. Just be like, oh, if you want to understand why these events are happening in the books, probably a cool way to puzzle that together would be maybe try reading the books. They're free over here. Knock yourself out.
Completely free. You can read them all in like one day.
That's partially why I wanted to have them be like free on there, because I know it's like, oh, you gotta make money. What's your return on investment? Blah, 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 blah. It's like, I want people. I like the stories. I think they're cool. I want to share them. I want people to enjoy them, and I think that over time,
that's kind of
if people enjoy it. It'll be alive. It'll be alive in their imagination, and that will just help move things forward. Even if you can't like envision it on a spreadsheet, even if you can't explain it to like the board of directors at the end of the quarter. It's like, no, having this thing be alive in people's imaginations, it will pay dividends. You just have to let it live.
Well, yeah, I had a guy, and Dave, like, I'm not gonna go why this happened. Dave knows this, but the guy asked, like, why do we show people art for free? What is the point of that?
What is why wouldn't you want people to see your art?
Exactly.
Was this guy like
I
Stanley
don't-
Pines from Graduate? What are you doing? You're showing them the art for free.
He was kind of a piggy boy. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, that from
Piggy boy.
the deposition in the law. Yeah, I
Yeah.
forgot that was
They're
confusing
pulling
to
up the
them.
mailing list and the desktops and the free stuff and the
Wait,
PDFs
did the
that I was
guy
sharing.
you're talking about the lawsuit thing when he
Yeah.
interviewed you? He asked. Oh, he did interview you, didn't he? Yeah. He
Yeah.
asked like why you give things away for free.
Yes.
No, like we got
Oh,
interrogated
because the
about
book
the
was
most
given away for free. I guess.
silly,
I don't know.
silly stuff. It was crazy.
Yeah. What was his
Yeah.
like? What was his like course like? I don't. What was the end game with that question? That seems
He
like it would
started.
go nowhere.
He asked Gook, and we were all very confused, and it didn't make any sense. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know. The
There's
very
there's
limited
a
information I have about like what was going on with that case, which mostly just comes from like newsletter stuff, is
yeah.
it seems like that guy really just did not know what he was doing at all.
yeah. Well,
Well, he
our
doesn't know why-
attorney told us, it's like, yeah, it doesn't seem like there's really anything about his questions that correlate to what his lawsuit is supposed to be about. So there's nothing to worry about here. And our attorneys, I would say, are pretty validated because the judge was like, yeah, what does any of this have to do with anything? And then
Oh, she did actually say that.
I mean, I don't know if she said that word for word, but effectively, like, the long and short of it is she basically said something to the effect of like, why exactly should this not be thrown out? Like in as many words, she posed that question. And then I'm told that there was a rambling, flustered sort of attempt to just have a verbal diarrhea response that did
And
not
then
go
she said,
over
like,
too well.
"Excuse me, what? LOL, what?" And then he tried it again, and it just didn't do anything.
That's
But, yeah.
incredible.
But yeah, he didn't understand why we gave things away for free, and then he showed me a picture of something we had, like it was from Prelude, and it was Lilith. It was like a Prelude picture, and he was like, "Well, do you give this away for free?" I'm like, "Yes," and that just baffled him.
Yeah.
Well, I think they're, if I remember correctly, they're both trust fund kids. So,
Yeah.
rich.
Yeah.
If you'll never meet a stingier person with like $1, like $1, than like a rich person, someone who was born rich. If someone like made their money, like if they actually like got their money together within their lifetime, they're not usually that way. But people who are born to like a rich family, I noticed there's like a strange trend where they just will not, they won't want to spend any money on anything other than just themselves. And even when they spend money on themselves, it's like very, very limited what they'll spend, unless it's a picture of their OC or something. Then they're willing to drop 2 or 3 grand on something like that.
We think it's because they understand that the number goes down and they have no way of making the number go up,
Yeah, I can.
and they get really
Typically,
worried.
yeah, that is the case because
At first I was like,
it's
having trouble understanding it because it's like, I'm someone that came from nothing really. Like that's not even an exaggeration, and it's like, oh, so why are they more stingy than me? Because, like they have orders of magnitude more financial resources, and you'd think that I would be like stingier than them, and I have to be very, very frugal with like finances. But these people are just on another level. It's strange. And then I think I sort of started to understand because I was like, oh, if they did not earn what they have, and they know that they do not have the ability to earn more, and if they have a trust fund and the only thing they can do is spend it and watch the number go down, and their whole life it's just getting like smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, and they know that they don't have the capacity to create new value, that actually would be, I think, legitimately stressful. Like I think that would be emotionally stressful to sort of feel like you're a character in a video game and your health bar is only going down and you can never get another power up, unless you can, I guess, smooth talk your parents into like giving you another disbursement, but for some of these people that might not be an option. So I think that might be why.
I imagine it would be like every time you go and buy a cheeseburger for lunch, because these people, they just spend money, don't cook. Every time you get a cheeseburger, you lose $20, and then you have no like idea of how to get the $20 back. So yeah, you just watch the number go down every day. Every day you get your cheeseburger.
So I think it would be like, to be fair, I'm not even trying to be like derogatory. It's just like if I was in that situation, I think that would feel stressful. So it's that I can understand how that might feel.
Yeah, I think that would be extremely distressing if you were just basically turned like however old and your parents are like, here's your trust fund, and then you have, you know, whatever you have in the trust fund, and you just always see that go down and it never really goes up, even if you have like a job, because you're just so used to spending like stupid amounts of money on stupid things.
Yeah.
So like if that was the way you had to live with just this basically like this death note like life counter above your head at all times.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be pretty scary, and you would be pretty distressed. And I don't know, maybe you would like, you know, try to do something really stupid in court or something like that to sort of ease the pain. Were they trying to get like $100,000 out of you or something?
Yes,
Oh,
and they seriously thought it would work.
It's actually bonkers. At various points, they tried to like change around the damages they were asking for. I could be remembering wrong at this point, but because it's like it was all so like I knew that like none of it was ever going to happen, right? Because this lawsuit was just there was no possible way they were ever going to win, and that was extremely obvious from the instant I read their complaint. Even without the assistance of an attorney, it's just like, oh, they're not going to win this, but you know we've just got to fight it because that's how the legal system works. I apparently that was a surprise to them that they weren't going to win it, but it's just like, how could you guys not? I don't know, but at various points, I didn't pay too much attention to the damages that they were asking for because I knew it was not a concern, realistically. But like at various points, I remember at one point just like laughing out loud because they were asking for 25% of the revenue of our business at one point, and it's just like, what are you basing this off of? This is like, in what universe does this make any sense? At one point, I thought that they were asking for like, $100,000 in damages, and then was like, oh well, what are the damages? They never even tried. This was so weird. It's like the one thing they should have been trying to do in this lawsuit was like prove their damages, right? That's like a big thing in court. Is if you're asking for damages, you have to prove here's the way I was damaged. Nothing. They didn't even try to establish. Not that they were damaged at all. They weren't, but they didn't even like try to dig around or make anything up. Or it's just so
damage. Yeah, like they didn't like
the feel bads.
They don't have a business that suffered because of this. They weren't planning on like wasn't like part of the whole thing is that like they didn't want it to be sold or something. I don't know if the guy was like his lawyer before or whatever, but like didn't they not want it to be sold at all? So like they requested that. What did they think what were they thinking would happen as a result of this?
Well, no joke. It's like he didn't want to have any association with Vivid suddenly after being associated with us for 15 years and being perfectly thrilled actually to be associated with us. Suddenly out of the blue, and we found out later on in a discovery, oh, it's literally because of political reasons. Cool, awesome. But out of the blue, he's like, oh, suddenly now that other people can see that you're going to do this project, now I suddenly don't want to be associated with you. So, I mean, according to the contract, we did have a right to continue publishing the thing in a crowdfund and, you know, raising money for it and printing books. But we were like, well, if you really don't want this, then I guess it doesn't feel the same to do a crowdfund if that's the way you feel about it. So we agreed to just not do it. And then part of the lawsuit was he was screaming about the fact that he didn't have any money because there were no sales. It's like, you got what you asked for, and you are now suing us because you got what you asked for. Like this craziness.
Back to the giving away things for free. I know what that was actually. What he was trying to do, he wanted me to say that I don't give things away for free except for yours out of spite. And that's not true.
Yeah, no, we give away
Do you think he really thought that was the case? I mean, there are examples of you giving other things away for free.
Exactly the argument is that we have a whole tab where we give away all kinds of stuff for free.
Like providing...
How did he think that was going to work then? Like,
I don't know.
Tricking us to saying that and then, aha, I gotcha, maybe? The thing is, you have to understand...
I got you!
Yeah, you have to
You
understand.
give everything away for free.
Have to understand projection. Basically, they think that we would do something to try to hurt them because they would do something to try to hurt us. So they think their rage is our rage. Basically, that's what that is.
I don't know. Like it's
I
easy to climb into
I can't like get my brain to work that slowly
I mean,
to like
it's
put
you're not a
myself in that
coyote.
mindset.
it's one. I
You're not
don't know if we
coyote.
need to really crawl into the armchair and try to like psychoanalyze the motivations and stuff. I am
I have a
glad that
minor in it. I can help it.
yeah. Well, it took a long time, but the result was never really in question. It was just obvious from square one. So I'm glad we finally got there, and Vivid has prevailed. We've got victory, and we're fortunately stronger than before we started. So that's kind of nice.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I should be saying
They only made you stronger.
I mean, literally,
You
yes.
did.
And I should also be saying thank you to anyone listening, especially if you backed our legal defense campaign, because I don't know, the fact that we had support from the readers really did make it a massive, massive difference. I mean, I sit here and say, oh, well, they had no case at all to begin with. From a legal standpoint, yes, but one of the things that some people like to do with the legal system, I'm not saying that's these people, but some people like to abuse the legal system even if they have no case at all, simply because they know that they can bleed their competition dry because the process is the punishment, as the saying goes.
Oh yeah.
And
did you hear
and
about?
that did not work at all
Sorry.
because you guys, the readers, because you kind of put your foot down and you funded our defense, and there we go.
Did you hear about the lady suing Reese's, like Hershey Reese's, because there wasn't a little pumpkin face on the pumpkins that she bought?
Oh yeah, you told me about that, Hazen. Did you hear about this?
On the pumpkins?
When you buy the little chocolate pumpkins from Reese's, on the package they have a little pumpkin face. But when you open it, there isn't a pumpkin face, and she sued them to teach them a lesson for $5 million.
Like a jack-o'-lantern face, yeah. Like the
I
package.
want $5 million because you didn't draw a face on the pumpkin.
Yeah, her lawsuit was like, when you look at the wrapper, there's a jack-o'-lantern face. But when you open the pumpkin, the chocolate is in the shape of the pumpkin, but the chocolate does not include a jack-o'-lantern face. Time for you to pay me
Okay,
$5
that's like
million.
a customer service complaint, lady.
So
Yeah, that's like something you email customer service about and then don't buy the candy again. Like, you don't get a lawyer involved to do a $5 million. You just want $5 million. I'm sorry. You're not going to get that from that.
and she did not. The judge basically wound up being like, "Hey, listen, you didn't suffer any you did not suffer any damages from this. You were not significantly financially impacted due to the lack of a jack-o'-lantern face on your chocolate. You still got the expected substantial value of a chocolate treat when you opened this up. So your thing
Yeah,
is
she probably ate it too. Ate it and then said, "I didn't taste the smile."
so your thing is thrown out. You should feel bad, and you should stop just being a subtraction on like the net worth of humanity. Stop
Should
that.
stop being a stupid cunt and thinking you're going to get $5 million because your candy didn't smile at you.
$100,000. Oh ho ho!
But it's like people
That was
will
God.
people will
Really?
try for stuff that they should know, and they probably do know that there's no way it's gonna end well. They have no case. There's no justification.
How could you think that would happen? Or like in America, like if some judge like rules something really stupid, you can just like appeal the ruling. And
Yeah.
usually, from what I understand, the appellate courts are like they
They're fierce.
will just go like, yeah, this is stupid. We have no idea why this judge did this thing. They must be new. We'll go ahead and overturn this or whatever. And like that's like something that can happen. So I don't know why you think something like that will get through 2 layers of judges before. I think because it's America, right, where like the McDonald's thing happened, where
Yeah.
like some woman had. Well, the people think it's just I spilled coffee on myself and I am damaged, but like that really was that because people's perception of that is just that it was some woman who wanted $1 million or something. They think like, well, that worked with McDonald's, that will work with me, but like no, like that case was different. Like I actually looked into that case, and it's very different. Like the coffee was like way like the coffee she had was so hot it literally when it spilled on her it melted her skin like in her like like special area and everything. Like it damaged her and
She had to
enjoyment
get
of
plastic
life for the rest
surgery.
of her life. Say
She
what?
had to get she had to get plastic surgery.
She had to get like she had to like do
Skin
plastic
grafting.
surgery and like skin grafts and stuff the coffee was like way hotter than coffee really should. There's no reason coffee should be hot enough to melt your skin like acid. So like she had absolutely a right to like sue for that and get whatever she got out of it. But people's perception of that, they don't know those details. They think she spilled coffee on herself and then she sued. Ho, ho. Like they think that's how that went.
McDonald's was trying to spin it that way too.
Well, that's what
McDonald's successfully spend it that way to everyone but the judge, and that's why people think that. And that the damage McDonald's has done to just society, thinking that they can go through and just sue anyone over any little thing and get millions of dollars and win. And these lawyers who take these cases are guilty as well. These lawyers who go, yes, I'll do that. That'll be $400,000, please, and we'll get $5 million from Reese's. Like, they're stupid. Like, you're an idiot if you think that you're going to take that case and win it and not like have a big fucking fat L on your record.
I would
like,
imagine
that being your
and
first
be a lawyer
case.
and be a lawyer who never wins a case.
Well, I mean,
And
I
imagine
imagine
that being your first case. Oh, you're the guy who lost the Reese's case. That was stupid. Why did you even sue for that? Like that's you now.
Well, I mean, I would imagine there's some lawyers that maybe they know that they're not that good and they're never going to have much of a career, and they're just like, I just need to find someone dumb and cash out. I just need to like find someone where every lawyer with common sense listens to them and they're like, yeah, no, that's not a case. That's not winnable. That's silly. Thank you. That's your assessment. Have a good day. I need to find someone where all the other lawyers won't take it because it's not a real case. But this person is so, malevolent or whatever that they're just burning to take this frivolous thing to court regardless. And then I need to relieve that person of their money. Like, I'm sure there's some lawyers where they're at that level where that's like, to them, like they're only shot at making some money off of the law is effectively enabling malevolence.
Really though, like if you, I don't know what the rates are there or whatever, but my understanding of them is that to get through like litigation in like a civil case, right? Typically on average, depending, and it can depend on different things, but typically it will cost you between like $40,000 and $60,000, and if it goes to court, that can double because they have to actually be there in court for things.
Yeah, trial.
So let's say that it makes it to court, right? The Reese's case or whatever. So that lawyer, let's be generous and let's say that he made $150,000. Okay, well, you made $150,000, and now you're the guy who lost the Reese's case. Your client may sue you for some reason if they can do that later. They may not pay all of it.
They're looking at their options.
Well, what I'm saying is like you can go work like in a factory or work like a construction or be a teacher or something, and you can make that kind of money in like a couple years, and you'll still have a job and a way to produce money. Now you're in a position where you've made like between $40,000 and $150,000 one time, and that career is over. No one will ever want you to represent them again. I thought like in a lot of these cases it was probably just like, because it seems like it's almost always women who are doing like the suing. So I always thought it was like some male lawyer who's like, sure, baby cakes, I'll take the case, yeah. And you come back to my place after, right? Like, I always thought it was something like that. Or should they just knew them, or like they were like a family friend or something?
Like
yeah,
recreated.
I thought
the
that
Chicago
was usually
movie.
the case with these.
No, if there's an adult woman eating Reese's Pieces or Reese's peanut butter things, and she's unhappy about the pumpkin, I mean, you can kind of imagine the shape of her.
I think Liz is
I'm in love with the shape of
your claim that only fat people sue? Because I'm not sure if that's totally accurate. Honestly, I think that there's probably a variety of people of various physical fitness levels that abuse the law.
No.
I don't
Oh,
think
oh, oh, no, no. No, I'm saying the ones who seriously think they can sue the candy company that their candy was not smiling at them.
Because you really have to think about like like the process step by step of this, right? Like how is
The
it that
paperwork.
you bought Reese's Pieces with pumpkins and you opened them, you saw
Yeah.
there was not a face, you still ate them presumably, and then what did you do? You went to sleep and had like a think about like, Reese's Pieces, no faces, but there's faces. That's false advertising. False advertising is a lawsuit. A lawsuit is money. I should find a lawyer. And then you went through like 11 to fucking 20 lawyers before like someone finally was dumb enough to go, yes, you have a case here. That'll be $40,000, please.
And you decided
like-
5 million was the magic number.
5 million. Yes. Somehow them not having smiling faces on them is worth five. A court should steal $5 million from Reese's and give it to you, nobody, because
You
you
figured
didn't
them
see a
out.
smiley face.
Yes. Maybe she's a coyote.
Maybe she's a coyote.
Yeah. A
It's
trickster.
like in secret.
So sneaky. I mean, her persona.
I don't think the
Oh,
Reese's
was she
lady
a
was
furry?
a furry, is she?
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know, but that is I just can't like. Did she think of that, or like did she just like, was there a lawyer
Oh.
just happening to be like behind her when she was opening the candy, and he was like,
Maybe-
you can sue for this.
Maybe the chat saying it was Wile E. Coyote. Just things
was
blowing up her
Wile E.
face when she
Coyote?
opened something. She had to sue the company. Had to sue
They
Acme.
made a Seinfeld episode about that case. What, the coffee case?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
did they?
didn't know that.
I didn't see it.
I've never really watched much Seinfeld, actually. It's never
It's pretty funny. I've watched some of it.
I had to watch the final episode in class in high school. Like, it was the most brilliant thing ever. I didn't think it was funny.
That and The Simpsons was like my window into like American culture for a while.
So we have a question. What is a dream world version of a flying machine like a Bloomberg spring power airplane?
Yeah, actually, they don't really have any in Andaruna, so they haven't ventured into it yet. They could do like some blimp type of things, maybe with some basic propellers, but they can't get too far without a combustion engine. And right now they're doing stuff based on clockwork and springs.
There are a lot of government laws about what's allowed to fly. I feel like there'd be a lot of red tape to get something off the ground.
There's also the fact that some dream keepers like just actually have the ability to fly, because they have wings. That also sort of dampens down the need for technology to sort of accomplish the same thing. Like, obviously, most dream keepers can't fly, but when there's a few that can, it's sort of like, oh, well, if we need to get some flying-related stuff done, for most of their history, they'd have the ability to, like, just have, oh, Joe over there, he can fly, he can take care of that for us. So as long as there's always, like, Joe down the street who can fly up there and solve a problem, there's just a little less pressure for, machinery and invention to fill that need.
But the government has a space program.
Andaruna? No, they don't.
I've heard. I thought they did.
A space program. They can't even.
The Discord thinks they do. Apparently the it's a money laundering thing where they say they're gonna go and land on the moon, but they just like move some money around.
Well, actually, I could see it being a money laundering thing, but obviously they wouldn't have
It
like a
is.
functional, like operational space
No.
program.
No, but once in a while they talk about it like it's a big debate about who's more supportive of the space program to go to the moon.
Well, that's actually
That
pretty
they're
funny.
gonna totally do it. Yeah, it's a thing.
I swear, guys, we're really gonna do it this time. It's so cool.
Yep. Yeah.
Although we got to be careful how far we follow that fun sidelight down, because if you get to the bottom of it, then suddenly we're like supporting the moon landing conspiracies in their comic. Oh no!
How many moons does Andruna have? And which one are they gonna land on first, Dave?
I don't know. I gotta get all this stuff hammered out in the lore book so it's finalized.
All right. But anyway, I have heard, and I have decided that they have a money laundering system where
I do like the idea of like
Confirmed.
I do like the idea of a government program that is just
Yes.
completely based on no possible technological solution ever, but it's like, but they need a budget.
Yes, they do. That's exactly what that is. They have a moon budget, and they're not doing anything.
The
but once in
moon
a while
budget.
they talk about it. Yeah.
Guys, we need to increase
Yes.
the moon
It's going to be
budget.
the best space program in the history of Andruna, is what they're saying.
Well, they already one of the politicians was I think in the background in Prelude talking about the Cloud Control Act. He's like, we need the Cloud Control Act. They're just up there doing anything. They're totally out of control. We need to get those things on
The
lockdown.
clown control.
The cloud.
The Cloud Control Act. Like, we need to control
Oh,
those.
The cloud control. I thought you said clown control.
No.
So we do have some
doing
precedent
anything they want
for-
right now. They have to be brought to heel.
They're just floating around doing God knows what. We need to protect ourselves. It's a safety risk.
We have to make sure the clouds are on our side.
Yeah, what if they're not? Have you thought about that? Have you thought about what could happen?
Is there a flat planet movement, Dave?
It's
does
like
flat-
the My Little Pony clouds. How
Yeah.
they have to move them all around themselves to do all the weather.
I mean, they're probably, and that's one of the things in Andruna with their cosmology. There absolutely is a faction of scientists that has plausible beliefs in a flat Andruna. There's going to be a faction that has belief in like a spherical Andruna. And the fun thing is about Andruna, they don't actually know. So it's even in terms of like, what are the celestial bodies? How do they work? What are magnets? How do those work? There's a lot of confusion and competing theories in Andruna. So the Dreamkeepers themselves don't quite have a handle on it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present the idea, the question: are children small, or are they just far away?
Teach the conflict.
I believe that there is a dreamkeeper with a ladder who is convinced that he can climb up the sky if he gets to the farthest mountain.
And his name was Jacob.
You laugh, but that's actually the belief system. One of the belief systems has that in the religious lore that I'm building. One of the belief systems does
Jacob's
believe.
ladder.
No, not Jacob's ladder, but that there's like actually a way to. The way the belief system works is that the sky is not like some black void. Like if you get to the edge, you get to the sea of night, and that goes like basically 90 degrees up, and then you're coasting in this ocean of sky, and the stars are other worlds in this dark ocean that just curves around like an inner sphere. That's
And
one of
then
their
we
systems.
Kill God.
Say what?
And then we kill God.
They don't. What are you talking about? That doesn't involve killing God.
That's what are they going to do when they climb up there? They have to do something.
Well,
Bring him Reese's Pieces with no smiles. And then he sues them.
God's like, this reality was supposed to have a smiling jack-o'-lantern on it. Time
I
for a
believe it.
Where's the
flood.
smile?
It's time for a flood. This wrapping didn't have a jack-o'-lantern on it. It's only one way to teach these people not to fuck with God. That's to wipe them off the face of the earth.
And that is to win a $5 million lawsuit.
Yep. Crazy people.
God is going to sue early pre-flood mankind for $5 million.
And 20% of the profits.
And 20% of the it was 25% of the profits.
Oh, was it 25?
Technically.
Because they never even nobody even asked what our profits were.
Well, it was
by
so
the way.
weird.
They
It's
just
like
yelled
at one point they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna ask for this, and we want 25% of all of their." It's like, what are you talking about? And then, so I thought for sure during Discovery, it's like, okay, well they think they're entitled to a huge share of Vivid Publishing's profits. This is just crazy time. So I'm assuming during Discovery they're gonna be like, "What are your annual profits?" It just never even occurred to him. Like there was such a lack of logical
yeah.
connectivity between the various.
Isn't there like a period of time where they're supposed to be able to like ask for that information, and
Yeah.
they just never asked?
Yeah, it's like during the
No.
Discovery period, and during Discovery, they went on some wild fucking goose chases. That's what actually the sanctions are about. This isn't even us like doing a countersuit yet. This is like one of the people that they were going after that has fucking nothing to do with us. It's bizarre. I don't want to like talk about it too much because I kind of feel
No.
bad for the people that they harassed already in this that had nothing to do with anything. They harassed businesses that we didn't even know we were connected to. It's just crazy. But yeah, they didn't go after anything that made sense.
Jesus.
And it's just they just went after some other stuff. And then when it came time to be like, okay, so here's the judge. What are we doing, kids? How is it going? What have you discovered? Actually, I think they even requested more discovery time, and then the judge granted it to them for whatever reason. In her infinite wisdom, she's like, "Yeah, well, you guys clearly need more discovery time. Go nuts." And then they did, and
They're
then
so bad at it.
and then so they filed a supplement to their discovery. They're like, "Here's all the new stuff we learned," and she looked at it and she struck the whole thing from the record. She was so, I
She
don't.
struck it.
The entire thing was completely stricken from the record. She was like, this, no.
Did your lawyer like motion for it to be struck?
No. The judge just completely
so she just struck it on her own.
On her own, she looked at this and she's like, "Yeah, no, guys, this isn't even. I'm not even going to let this continue to exist. This has to go away. This has to go away forever."
Oh my god!
And I think that's when she started to kind of get their number and realize, oh, I've been enabling some really, really insanely silly stuff. And at that point,
Very special.
once she kind of figured them out, I think. This is just speculation, but I think once she kind of figured them out, then she was a little more self-confident about actually applying the law a little more directly, rather than just giving them like endless free passes.
Oh, a little less sympathetic to it's my first time, mommy. I don't know what I'm doing.
I think, yeah, I don't know if they were leveraging that angle on purpose, but that is sort of what it seemed like. It seemed like there was a lot of like, if we pretend like we're totally incompetent, will we get some extra slack here? Maybe that's just me like projecting, but it almost seemed as though that was a little bit going on. And then it seemed like for a while it was kind of working, and then she got to know them better, and she's like, I see.
And then she saw them in person.
Okay,
she saw them in person.
let's not do this then.
Ew.
It's been also crazy.
What a ride!
Did I tell you about they put our victory newsletter in the federal court system as an exhibit? Did I tell you that?
Well, I saw like the update that had happened, and I didn't. Yeah. I guess I'm not like completely understanding what happened. Like you sent a newsletter like out to the not to them, but like to the fans. I guess they're signed
public.
up to read the newsletter or something.
Apparently.
And they like took the whole like a PDF copy of the newsletter and put it into like an exhibit. Like
Yeah.
as evidence or something?
They said if we put something in public, we were harassing them personally.
Well, I don't know if they said that exactly, but it doesn't really make sense when you try to articulate it, but they tried to be like, oh yeah, this is like harassment, or this is indicative of like, if you think about it in this way, it could turn into like, I think it was actually, they were actually claiming that it was harassment directed towards one of these third parties that I think is unfair to really bring them up more, so I'm probably not going to. But like, if you read the newsletter, it's like, no, this is do you know what harassment looks like? Because it does not look like this. This is just us happy that we won. That's us being happy that we won.
What did the judge say about that?
She just denied them. They were trying to restrict the entirety of the sanctions motion against them. I don't know why they were trying to restrict the entirety.
The whole motion?
They wanted the entire thing to be not available to the public. They wanted the whole thing to be not visible. They were trying to restrict the whole motion. And the judge was like, no. In fact, in the hearing, I told you...
Don't start a lawsuit.
I told you how to request very specific redactions if you think you need them. And apparently you did not pay attention to what I told you, and you went for this. But you're not going to get this.
Well,
so.
Apparently she told them in person how to follow the law, and then they just went off and did something completely different.
Well, she's literally had to put in motion, in like responses to their motions, she has literally written word for word, that is not how the law works at various points. Like, it's...
It's very special.
Oh my god. The guy, he went
their
lawyer
first
or
law.
whatever, he went to law school, right? He went to all the things you're supposed to go through to know the law.
Well,
I kind of wonder if it was COVID time and maybe he got it in the mail and maybe he used AI. Maybe used. I wonder if maybe somebody used AI to
Listen,
cheat on the tests.
don't
I don't know.
like, I know you're just speculating, but don't even speculate about that sort of thing publicly, because the next thing you know, they're just going to be like, oh, they impugned our honor, they're trying to claim that we cheated. It's like, we're not claiming that anybody cheated. It's just that based on how this lawsuit went, it leads one to speculate, but we should not speculate publicly.
That's true.
What a mystery. We all know how furries feel about AI, by the way, so
Yeah.
probably not.
Yeah, but what an adventure.
How entertaining.
Silly adventure.
Good God. What like this just seems like the kind of like you wouldn't be able to write a fictional thing
If you
that
wrote
would be this fucking like stupid.
if you wrote this in fiction, people would complain that it's like unrealistic. They'd be like, no, these characters are way too two-dimensional. No one's gonna do something that's like that harebrained and crazy. But you know, the lady that went after the candy company because the jack-o'-lantern face wasn't on the chocolate. That's another example of like, no, some people really
Stupid.
do some crazy stuff. Happens.
I don't know. I do think that McDonald's case like just totally gave people the wrong perception of like, oh well, I can just sue you in America. I can just sue for anything. I can get millions of dollars.
It kind of gave me the wrong idea, because it wasn't until it might have even been you or someone told me later on, like, oh, the lady actually, like, the version I learned when I was a kid was the version that McDonald's apparently paid a lot of money to make very public, and that's the version where it's like, this lady was so silly, can you believe she won this lawsuit? You can sue for anything in America and get $1 million. Like, that's the version that I digested when I was like a kid. And then I grow up and it's like, oh no, the coffee was actually so incredibly hot, it caused excruciating third-degree burns. She had to be rushed to the emergency room, and then initially she only wanted McDonald's to help her with the medical bills. And they refused. They were like, no, we're not going to help you with the medical bills. You're on your own.
They should have done that.
And she was like, what do you mean? You melted my crotch like with... I look like I was like attacked with someone with a Molotov cocktail in my lap. Like, this is insane. You're really not going to help me with my medical bills at all. And they're like, yeah, get fucked. and it was only after that she
didn't answer her.
Yeah, and so then she's like, okay, well, I guess then I got to lawyer up, because like this is insanely expensive, and like, you know, I didn't want to like have third-degree burns when I just got some coffee at McDonald's. And then McDonald's started, I guess, aggressively putting out there like, oh, this lady, it's so frivolous, haha, this is so insane. And you know, they just put their side out there so hard that I guess McDonald's won in the court of public opinion, but in actual court, like, they lost. But in the court of public opinion, I guess it still matters, because now there's people that think they can do very frivolous things.
Yeah, McDonald's should have just paid those medical bills, because like the harm that they did to this woman, and then the harm that they did to themselves, and then the harm that they did to society, what would it have costed to do the medical bills? Probably not whatever she got from the lawsuit.
Yeah.
And there wouldn't have been a bunch of people who think in America, where you have your most of your customers who think that they can just sue for anything that happens to McDonald's and win. Now people think that.
Yeah.
Great job, McDonald's.
I also heard there's some lawyers suing Disney now over Steamboat Willie, which I think is kind of funny, like the way that this lawsuit news is coming together.
And how is that going?
So there's
I
some
thought
attorneys,
that
some group of attorneys, and it's like already you're like, okay, they like planned this in advance. I don't know, probably. Some group of attorneys decided that they wanted to do an advertisement using Steamboat Willie, because he's public domain now, right? So they wrote a letter to Disney, and they're like, Disney, we want you to swear that you will not sue us if we use Steamboat Willie. We want you to affirm that you will not sue us if we use Steamboat Willie. He's public domain. But you are so litigious. Disney, you have a history of being so litigious. We want you to pinky swear that you're not going to sue us and you know, be true to your stereotype. And Disney responded to them being like, hey, listen, we don't really give third parties legal advice. And then this group of lawyers was like, oh, really? Well, now we need to be sure. We need to be certain before we make this commercial. And so I guess if you're not going to tell us it's okay, the only way to be certain is to get a judge to say it's okay. So we're suing you.
Aw. You know what? I don't like Disney, but I kind of think everyone is really dumb in that case. Like,
I see.
know what?
I sort of
Go
see
have
both
fun.
sides of that. Like,
go have fun.
Disney probably doesn't want to like give them legal advice because that could be bad. That could be like dangerous for them.
Yeah.
And then these lawyers probably are very worried about Disney suing them over something that they really wouldn't be able to sue them over, because Disney does that.
Yeah.
It just sounds messy. But at least it's not a smile on a package.
Yeah. I mean, if they really wanted to do this commercial, they could just not use Steamboat Willie or just put
Yeah.
the Steamboat Willie into like an AI and make something similar to it with that, and then just use that.
Or because they're lawyers, they could just do the research and be like, no, we're good, and then go do it.
Well, I wonder, partially, I wonder if this is like a publicity stunt for that law firm. Because, if they're suing Disney over
yeah.
Steamboat Willie,
Yeah.
they'll automatically be getting some headlines. And if their whole point of
We
this
just
We
was
probably
like,
sued Disney and
know about
won.
it.
we wanted
Yeah.
to
Probably know
do
about
we wanted to do an ad featuring Steamboat Willie. So plus it's like, okay, so they're looking to advertise their law firm. I don't know. I'm just connecting some dots here, and there might be,
Yeah, it sounds like they're kind of trying to advertise themselves with the lawsuit.
which yeah, that might be better advertising for them than like whatever like a third-rate Steamboat Willie knockoff animation they theoretically would have been trying to do.
Yeah, I would think that would be the ultimate ad. We sued Disney over Mickey Mouse and won. That's the exact kind of thing a lawyer would say to you too.
Yeah, yeah, actually. How good of lawyers are we? We sued Disney over Mickey Mouse and we won. So they might just be like, I don't know. Like, I went into this originally too thinking like, oh, judges serve a very important facet of our system, and now I'm just sort of like, you know what? Like, do people become judges and think that they're going to be like dealing with important issues and serious matters, and like, oh, we're going to like answer the big questions on how society should go, and then you become a judge and you're like, oh, I'm just mediating between like the dumbest people on earth here. like I feel like I'm like, if I was a judge having cases like this, I'd be like, I feel like I'm like mediating disputes in like the nursery. Like, what is this? Is this what I'm doing?
I imagine people think that getting into like legal stuff is like they think everything is like Better Call Saul, but it really turns out to be more like Harvey Birdman.
Show me the wrapper. Show me which candy you ate. Did you eat it? Did you eat the candy?
Your Honor, Exhibit 1, the jack-o'-lantern Reese's. Where is Exhibit 1? Exhibit 1! Suddenly the judge is like, ooh, with like a chocolate smear on her face. It's like, Judge! That was Exhibit 1!
Oh, wait, hold on.
No.
I thought it was a snack. Sometimes the clerk gives me snacks. It was not a snack, it was Exhibit 1!
Seriously, what some of this is. Seriously.
The case of the woman who found a human finger in her chili at Wendy's. Yeah, wasn't it like
Yeah.
she
friend.
put the finger in there?
Yeah. Yeah. It
Wait,
was
what?
her friend got. No, you didn't hear about this? Her friend had a finger accident like at work. His finger cut off.
Okay, that was going to be my first question, was where was this woman getting her human fingers from?
Where do you source your fingers from, lady?
But it was her friend was just like, hey, I don't really need this finger anymore. Do you want to use it to sue Chili's?
It was Wendy's.
Let's
Wendy's.
sue Chili's. Let's sue Wendy's. It was
No,
Wendy's
Dave.
chili, not Chili's
Yeah,
Wendy's.
yeah. It was Wendy's chili that she put it in, and they had a deal that he would get some of the money. But then they had an argument that he should get more money because it was his finger, and then he like ratted him out.
Oh, because I was actually sitting here like, wow, so I guess Wendy's must have had some crack investigators or attorneys on their side, because they actually had to uncover the source of the finger. So they have like, listen, like, private detective, you need to figure out where this finger came from using all the tools at your disposal. And so this investigator's like, all right, it's a tough job, but I can track this finger down. It's like, no, there was no brilliant finger investigation. It was just like the owner of the finger was like, well, I think I should get more money. I'm going to blow this thing wide open.
Yeah.
Like at some level, this stuff all just sort of seems like a joke. Like when you hear about more of these. I should be getting like 70% of the profits. It's my finger.
So he just tattled on him and just ruined the whole thing.
It's literally the plot to Big Lebowski.
Is it?
Yeah, when it's like, well, they pretend to kidnap some heiress, and then at some point they like send a toe to prove that they're serious, and then it's like it's the toe of one of the kidnappers, and they're like, but she worked very hard for it, and it was very painful. You should give us the bounty anyway. And then the Big Lebowski's like, come on, man. Well, I guess he's not the Big Lebowski. He's just the dude. Getting my Big Lebowski lore backwards over here. That's one of those movies. Like the more I watch that movie, the more it's like it's fun to watch. I don't know if it's just me, but the first time I saw it, I was like, I don't see what the big deal is. It's like okay, but then I saw it a couple more times, and at this point in my life, I'm just like every time I see it, it's like, oh yes, this is the flavor. This is the perfect sort of blend.
You like that movie? Grows on you.
Yeah, it grows on you, and I don't know why, but it really does. I think I like that genre overall. The genre of sort of like hard-boiled detective, but it's like got a satirical twist to it. Because I like Death to Smoochie a lot too.
Death to Smoochie is like one of my favorite movies.
It's great.
I've seen so many Ed Norton movies, and that's like one of my genuinely one of my favorite ones.
He is just so adorable in that movie. He's a really good actor based on what he can do.
He has a lot of range.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Edward Norton's great. His character in Death to Smoochie though, like I enjoyed the movie when I first saw it, but then after I got sick and started like literally, doing all this like health. Now he reminds me more and more of myself, and I'm like, oh no. And then like people go after him because they pretend he's. I'm like, this movie is the most horrible autobiography that I did not want to have it come true in so many ways.
Yeah. You just care about your craft. It's so sweet.
I think Dave's talking more about like the wheatgrass and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, no, he's like talking about like, oh man, you get a blast of alfalfa in here. I'm like, oh no, I've done that. I've literally done that. This is true. Oh god.
Wait a minute, what? Where alfalfa? When did this happen?
And then he has people trying to destroy his career by like associating him with far right stuff. It's like, yeah, that there we go. There's that too.
You can't have orange juice. Don't lie to me.
Oh, obviously I can't have orange juice. Like, let's be fair. He's a little loosey goosey with his health in that movie, but still,
he's a little more wild than Dave.
He wilds out a little bit. He goes a little nuts with his orange juice. That's a pretty high glycemic impact drink, Mr. Norton. I'm sorry to be the one to say this to you, but yeah, that movie hits a little too close to home now, actually. Especially with like the main character just like, I'm just here to bring the joy of Smoochie to people. It's like, I just want to make comics that people enjoy and everyone has a good time. And then
they're all trying to shoot him.
Or like do these various things to like crush his careers, like the rhino's gotta go, like I don't know, sue him in federal court, and then by the end, like the main character's like, I'm not feeling, he starts getting more and more aggressive, and then he's got the climax where it's like, is he gonna go too far? But it's like, no, he's not. He keeps his good soul. But then the Irish Mafia take those people out. So, happy ending.
That movie had like a crazy cast too. Like I always forget that Robin Williams was even in it.
Oh, he was so good in it.
I'm so what I remember from that movie is Edward Norton, and then like Jon Stewart being in it and stuff too. Yeah. I don't think Jon Stewart was in too many movies.
And then honestly, Robin Williams was so good as Rainbow Randolph, and I really liked the angle of like the horrible corruption and exploitation of children in the entertainment industry, because again, the more you know about how the entertainment industry works, like even someone at our tier, it's the more you're like, oh no, that's really on point. And then them talking about all the different kids show hosts and like how they're so like just like degenerate and awful behind the scenes. It's like, yeah. So no, there's way too much in that movie that I can relate to now. And initially it wasn't really relatable. It was just funny, but now it's funny and terrible also.
The one about V in the movie in your
Yeah, I was
like,
reading that too.
like John Goodman
V in what movie?
in Big Lebowski, like John Goodman, because the society has goddamn rules in reference to that movie.
That would be fun. That'd be a fun use case for AIs. If you could take the audio from Big Lebowski, but just replace the Big Lebowski characters with Dreamkeepers and have them don't even like use AI to change the voice and have it be like, oh, it's a female John Goodman. No, just straight up the actual recording of John Goodman's voice, but have it be like V ranting and raving and waving a pistol around in a bowling alley. I think that'd be funny. I don't think that would like be like broadly funny to tons of people, but to like Dreamkeepers fans, I think that the Venn diagram of Dreamkeepers fans and Big Lebowski appreciators would be very pleased.
Well, there's
To
a
an
third
audience of
circle
one.
there.
Third
Yeah.
circle.
The third circle will be people who don't start foaming at the mouth when they hear about AI or crypto or something.
I think we finally narrowed it down to like maybe 4 people in that diagram.
Yeah. There was like an artist on Twitter that blocked me because like he was blogging all day complaining about how someone offered him $10,000 to like make like a shit coin out of his like webcomic thing.
Meh.
And he was just like, that is so soulless and I don't want to do it. It's like, okay, I didn't even see that someone was offering him anything, and I just commented on it and I was like, yeah, that's crazy. Were they even offering you anything for like to use your character or something for this, right? Because it is like your thing. And then someone else said $10,000 probably in crypto, and I'm just like, yeah, well, $10,000 is $10,000. And then
I didn't think of that.
like, yeah, the artist comes in and he's like, a sucker is born every minute, and then just like fucking blocks me from everything. Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
And then they had like a little discussion after about how I was horrible and stupid and an asshole or something. I was like, the furry artists are like the most sensitive people on this fucking planet. Like, dude,
Jason,
I'm literally asking you if the person even offered you anything for your like
Jason,
thing.
don't you know their soul has no monetary value? It's worth too much. Oh.
That's what I
I
keep
guess,
on
but like
telling,
I was only asking. I wasn't saying like $10,000 should be enough. I wasn't even. I like nothing I said even would lend itself well to the argument that I was saying that. I literally was asking, did this guy even offer anything to you? And he got mad at me for asking that and for saying that $10,000 is $10,000. That's what he got upset about.
Well, you weren't agreeing with him right away, and that made him
Oh,
very
that's
upset.
probably the thing, isn't it? Yeah.
I don't know, some people get really uptight about like you have to hate all the same stuff that they hate, and if you don't, then it's like look out, you know.
I don't understand that at all, especially when you make art, because if you make art, you there's no way you haven't been just like face first run into the like reality, right? That like some people will like the things that you make and some people will not like the things that you make. Some people will really like the things that you make and some people will really not like the things that you make.
Yeah, sure.
So you know that like there's never going to be a situation where everyone just agrees on everything. So why is it that so many of these furry artists like go on Twitter and they'll just say like something insane and they'll keep talking about it as though it's like so important to them, right? And then you ask a question about that. Something about that question makes them think that, oh, he might disagree with me. You are an asshole. Get out of my comments right now before I call the admin on you.
I think
Because I know why. It's because they go there for like a little mob of yes men.
Yeah,
And
they
as
go
soon as
there
it's,
to get into their
yeah.
hug box
I
and
also
to get their ass kissed by their fans.
it reminds me of a study too. A study, so you know it's true. Take it with a grain of salt.
Whoa!
But I've seen this dynamic play out, so I'm inclined to give it some credibility. But the study basically says, oh, if you have like a person that has a lot of religious faith, the more uncertain they are, the more doubts they have about their own faith, the more they will defend it really, really aggressively whenever anyone else questions it. So it's the sort of thing where if someone is like, let's say you're like a devout Buddhist or whatever, and someone's like, you know what, I think Buddhism sucks. You're going to be like, oh, okay. Not a big deal. But if you're feeling really insecure about, oh, is this Buddha really like that chill, or was he kind of like a spurg? Oh, I don't know. If someone's like, I think Buddha was kind of a spurg, if you're still clinging to that religion, because that's like the foundation of your worldview, you're going to have to like, essentially you have to attack that person's viewpoint because it's the only way to kind of like defend your ability to grasp onto your own views. So I guess I'm talking a lot to say, I think basically when people don't have a lot of confidence in their own views, they have to be a lot more aggressive about defending them and attacking people that might make them question their own views. Because if there's something that actually makes them stop to think about what their views are and whether they might be right or wrong, if they're already on shaky ground, and especially if a lot of their sense of security, right, is they're like, okay, I've got a few things figured out. I belong to this group of people that has this opinion. That is settled. I have a big chunk of my worldview taken care of. It keeps me safe with all these social connections. So, that's maybe one of the things religion does, is it integrates you in a social sphere where if you subscribe to the right opinion, you're kind of safe within that sphere. And obviously, as soon as they like, oh, religion is dumb, let's all make fun of Christianity, it's like, okay, well, guess what the new religion is? This stuff. This stuff is the new religion, if you want to call it that you need to have everybody check the box, agree, and then you're socially pretty safe. But if you're not actually sure about the objectivity of those positions, if you're sort of not solid on why you check that box or what the actual argument is, anyone that makes you feel doubt, like basically they're not just like having some innocuous question. They have a question about something that is the core foundational ingredient of your safety as a person in society. So it's basically an all hands on deck type of moment. So maybe I'm wrong, but to me that seems like maybe that's why people maybe that's why people spurg out so hard over stuff where it's like, hey, this is not a big deal. We're just, because I've had the same thing where I try to talk with people, cough, cough, family members about like religious stuff. And you think, oh yeah, we can just have a conversation about this. It'll be like intellectually engaging and interesting. We'll throw some hypotheticals around. What do you mean? What's going on? How come we're suddenly not talking to each other at all? Like, that's weird.
Yeah, I think that with a lot of artists, and this is not even restricted to furry artists. I think that with a lot of artists on Twitter, or I guess a lot of them are on Blue Sky now because they aren't.
Oh yeah, they are
getting their ass kissed enough on Twitter or something. Yeah,
exactly.
But like, I think that they do. They have. I think there's the problem is twofold. I think that they have a very shaky confidence in their own like quality of their art a lot of the time. Mm-hmm. And I think even if that's not true, I think that the stuff that the way people just jump on these trains, I've seen artists like with lots of followers just attack these people who make AI art and like try to sick their followers on them. And I guess that's what it is really. Yeah, it's that. It's not that you actually have an opinion about AI. It's not that you actually have an opinion about crypto, or maybe you think like, oh, well, someone might steal my art, but you don't know enough about this stuff to understand that that's not what's happening. And because you don't know enough about it, your foundation in that belief is shaky and only probably exists because you think that that's where you're safe. Oh, well, all my other artist pals, they always call them pals for some reason. Like that's, yeah, anyone ever says that, Yeah, but like, oh, my artist pals. This artist is a pal of mine, and they'll still like me if I believe all the same things all the other art. Like, what do all the other artists believe right now? Oh, the AI is Satan and the crypto is a scam. Oh, well, I know that we could probably use crypto to circumvent the weird credit card processor stuff on porn, and we all draw porn. But that doesn't matter because we all believe this thing, and that will all be safe if we all just believe the same thing. So I believe crypto is bad. I've literally had people who run communities and like other artists, like I've seen them in the same day talk about you are not allowed to post NFT, crypto, anything like that in this server ever. We don't ever talk about it. We don't like it here. It's evil. It's bad. And then like I'll DM them like a meme about like NFTs or something, and they will tell like people I know, and they will tell me I don't even know what an NFT is really. But it's the most evil thing to you, right? Because you want all these other artists to like you.
It's gross.
It's more important for you to be popular than to be like
Informed.
factual and actually like know what you're talking about.
I mean, I think it's nice at least to sort of understand what is actually going on under the hood, because it makes it, you know, it just makes it a little more like, oh, I get what's going on. It's not just like,
I wholeheartedly believe that is what's going on.
yeah. I think I don't know, it's more understandable when you look at it like it's a sort of a social phenomenon like that, because as soon as you're like, basically when you try to take people at face value, where it's like, oh, this is what you think and this is why you think it, but that doesn't make any sense, and here's why it doesn't make any sense. So as soon as you fall into that, you are like, no, what they tell you their opinion is and their reasons for having that opinion, it's not actually, they might not even know that that's not what it is, but that's not what it is. It's something else, and it's usually like a social sort of like a social protection thing like that, or like a power game, but they don't want to acknowledge it to themselves, and definitely they don't want to acknowledge it to other people. So, but if you just are like, well, yeah, this is what they say, so I guess this is what it is, it's like, if you just take what people say about that type of thing at face value, you're going to be very confused, like I was for much of my young adulthood.
Because your parents couldn't talk religion with you?
Yeah, well, I mean, parents, but it's basically anytime a person has a belief system that informs their foundational worldview, like they check this box, and that box is like, okay, that's what I think, I'm set. As soon as there's something like that, where their sense of security is predicated on a certain set of beliefs, anytime you pry into that set of beliefs, I mean, there is a very small percentage of people where they might be willing to engage and talk about that and have a discussion about it, but like, I don't know, 80%, the majority of people, they're not equipped to really talk about that or question it, and they're going to get extremely disturbed and hostile if it feels like someone is misaligned with that. And I mean, some people are even fine, like, oh, I believe this and I'm confident in it, and you don't believe it, and that's fine, but some people will get aggressive towards anyone that they detect shares different core values.
Well, you know what it is that they go through their whole life assuming that their little son David agrees with them the whole time, and then all of a sudden they get a harsh reality when you're an adult, and you're like, wait, Dave doesn't agree with me? What if Dave didn't agree with me for years and I never knew? And then they think their power has been obstructed.
Well, I'm just even talking more generally, like across like people and like beliefs and stuff.
Yeah. I still think that's the way it works, though, is that people, you know, they all think their group of friends agrees with them, and then all of a sudden it's like somebody says, well, maybe I think somebody's shitting on Zootopia, and then one of the friends says, I think Judy's kind of hot, and then there's a huge backstabbing. Betrayal.
Backstabbing. You think Judy is hot? You must die.
You don't agree with everything I say. You're not my friend. I'm using that as an example because somebody was complaining about Zootopia 2 because they saw a trailer, and I said that don't give them money, and then they blocked me for it because I just agree with them and say they were right all the time.
Wait, they were complaining about something in the trailer?
They just, I don't know what it was about the trailer, but they got really upset about the trailer.
And you see, they got upset about the trailer, and then you said you were agreeing with them. You said don't give them money,
Mm-hmm.
and then they blocked you.
Yes. Well, first they wrote like, "Well, I didn't," and then they blocked me. It was Blue Sky. What are you gonna do?
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Well,
I know
enough
that's pretty.
said.
Yeah, that's sort
Yeah,
of okay. I understand completely.
that's where they go. That's kind of where they
That's where, yeah,
belong.
that's where all like the Tumblr refugees who are on Twitter for so
Mhm.
long, they go to Blue Sky, and then they just like
Mhm.
act crazy to each other over there.
Actually, they're attacking themselves now.
Oh, that yeah. Well, they have no one else to eat. Like they're like I don't. Those people are like rabies infested dogs or something. Like they just like they have to bite something all the time. They need blood all the time, and there's no one else on their stupid site to draw blood from. Then they'll just draw it from each other.
Well, apparently Blue Sky is uh, clamping down on censorship, and all the not safe for work artists are feeling attacked and censored. So they're trying to rise
Oh
up
yeah,
and fight back on Blue Sky, and they're just waging war against
they're going to
themselves
fight
and
back on Blue Sky.
with
Okay, yeah,
hashtags. With hashtags now.
awesome.
I
Yeah,
mean,
Mm.
I'm I'm sure
Maybe they'll
that's
make
not
a
a decision a
maybe
payment processor made or anything like
maybe they'll
that.
make a
Yeah,
maybe they'll make a Blue Sky 2 and another one and another one.
bluer sky.
I just can't help but think
Ooh.
of people that are now suddenly in 2025 suddenly concerned about censorship. I just can't help but think of that Die Hard 2 meme. You know, the "Welcome to the party, pal." It's like, oh
That's
really?
the first one.
Yeah, or I'm sorry, yeah, Die Hard one. But that meme, you know, it's like you like people have been getting their I don't need to spurg out about how much censorship has been going on during what I call the dark decade. I call it the dark decade because there's been a lot of censorship going on. But someone that is
Mhm.
just now being like, oh, suddenly, it's like, really? Like, I'm pretty sure that you would have been cheerleading a lot of the people having their throats ripped out over the last decade or so. But as soon as it comes to your specific fetish, now is the time to mobilize. It's like, no, that ship has sailed. I'm sorry, man. Like it's great that now you suddenly care about censorship and you're like, oh, now I think it's bad. It's like, well, it's always been bad, but you've been cheerleading it for a long time, so you just don't have the footing or the standing to possibly have an opinion about it that will ever matter, and that sucks. But you know, this is the world that you built, and now you have to live in it.
Yeah, there's so many of those people that I know when they were on Twitter, they were constantly talking about how we love this. We love that there's censorship and we love that there's canceling and all this stuff. This is a good thing actually.
Yeah, so many
And then like
articles, so many like, actually, it's a good thing. Then this is healthy for society, and here's all, and then you know, those would come out every time like a voice that they didn't like on the other side of some political divide got like, you know, taken out.
yeah, and it was always just that it wasn't happening to them.
Yeah.
And then now it's happening to them, and now suddenly it's bad. Oh, this was always bad, guys. Then why were you doing it? Why were you cheerleading it? Like why were you so happy when this why were you so publicly gleeful when this was happening not very long ago? Well, like there are people right now that remember this happening. Some of them remember it happening to them. And that was a good thing back then because it was happening to them and not to you. Now it is happening to you. Now it's not a good thing anymore suddenly. So you can see where there are a lot of these people it really it's never that they want fairness or that they want like a good place for people to just I just want a place where I can post my art and everyone will like it and tell me I'm pretty. Like that's not really what they want. They want that, and they also want what and like from their perspective is like a turn with the gun. they want
But
they want to
you
be able to
know,
eliminate whoever they want out from
that's
and
what I've
exclude
noticed
whoever they
on
want.
that's what it is on Blue Sky is that people will cater who's allowed to follow and look at them to only their yes men.
Yeah,
And if you actually speak up and don't
I
agree,
didn't
they
know
block.
that you could do that. Yeah, but that
Oh.
that does seem like right. That seems like par for the course with a lot of those people. They don't want to talk to anyone who doesn't agree with everything that they say.
Yeah.
They're
Yep.
you know or that doesn't like bow down. Like I've had to do like business with so many like artists and furry people before that like they don't, you know, it's under like a different name or something, like they don't know it's me, but like
No.
they will already have had me blocked on Twitter or something like that, and they will just like be they seem very confused when I know who they are, but I'm not like getting down on one knee and asking for an autograph. I've heard some of them talk before about how they're they're very confused why no one wants their autograph or no one wants to take a picture with them or something when they go to furry cons. And it's just like, because people know, people usually, especially if you just make like art on Twitter and you don't actually like, it's just basically like fan art of a thing that doesn't exist because you never actually made the thing exist first. There's no story, there's no book, there's no web comic, there's no anything.
Well,
Then
I think. Go ahead. Sorry.
well, I was just going to say, if none of that exists, then all they're going to know is what they see on Twitter for 3 seconds. And they like it. Maybe they save it and jack off to it later. That's it. That is their perception of what you create. And they don't know anything about you or care anything about you past what they can pay you to do for them. So
Well, I
no,
think
of
it's
course
more
they're
than-
not going to want your autograph or
It's-
take a picture with you. They don't know who you are.
It's more than that. I think your avatar is more famous than your actual face. Nobody knows who you are in person. If I'm next to you in an elevator and I follow you on Twitter, I'm not gonna be like, "Oh my god, I follow you on Twitter." I don't know who I follow on Twitter.
Man, I really hope that I
Yeah.
never become like more famous for my actual face than I would. Like seriously, like if someone recognizes my avatar and they recognize like, oh yeah, I think I've seen this around social media, and then like they don't recognize me, I'm like, yes, Art Goblin success, stealth artist. That's what I want. I don't want people to
could-
recognize
yeah.
me. Like, it's one thing when I'm behind the
You could
dealer's
just grow a
table.
goatee and people would think you were Doug Walker.
Yeah, that's actually not the worst idea, but I don't know. I don't crave the spotlight, and being able to go unrecognized for me, that's like mission accomplished. Like I would like my work to be enjoyed. Basically, the potential footprint of people that would really love and get enjoyment out of what we create. I would like my work to fill that footprint, but the more I can remain anonymous, the better, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, so everybody in chat, if you see a Dreamkeeper fursuit, it's not Dave.
How would that
It's not-
even work? Oh my god.
Dave in a mace
Legs.
fursuit or B. I don't know how the legs would work.
They actually, I've
imagine.
seen
Legs would
I've
be
seen
insane.
fursuits with the digigrade legs. They've got like these actual stilts that you can run around.
Not like that.
Kind of cool. Yeah, not like that properly proportioned, but
Not like that. No. Those are like grasshopper legs on some of the Dreamkeeper's character.
yeah. Well, anything that's like it'd be like doing like a Sonic cosplay where it's like, if you know what Sonic looks like, you're not gonna really, you can't get those proportions in a fursuit.
Oh, yeah, I wanted to tell you. Apparently, the people who did Skibbity Toilet
Oh God.
has somehow teamed up with Sonic, and now Sonic is fighting them in some sort of video game.
I thought I was having a stroke when I was reading that. It was like Skibbity Toilet and Sonic are going to be fighting within PUBG.
Okay, sure.
I don't.
I,
you
Yeah.
speak foreign tongues, yet I know I do not care.
I'm not gonna.
That is so like I can't believe I'm uttering those words.
I mean, I guess it's working as marketing because we're talking about it, but I'm not.
We're not buying it.
Yeah, it is working as marketing. Like things like Skibbity Toilet market themselves because they're just funny to talk about. But like, I don't know. I don't hate like. I thought that was really gay until like I kind of heard that the guy who made Skibbity Toilet is just like really nice.
Oh, okay.
But
Make
I
money.
don't. Yeah, people have tried to frame him as a bad guy. Like people have been like, oh, if you make Skibbity Toilet stuff on YouTube, then he will report your video. But someone was reporting the videos, but he claimed that it wasn't him doing that.
If you
so
say
he didn't even
Skibbity
know about
Toilet
it until someone told him.
in the bathroom mirror after dark 3 times, he'll appear and just like punch you in the nose for no reason.
He will appear. The Skibbity Toilet will appear. It'll just be your own toilet.
Every 10-year-old is really excited.
I will admit I'm not excited about this crossover between Sonic and Skibbity Toilet, but I'm also, I'm not the audience, and I'm not going to be forced to watch it, so I'm kind of like, okay, that's fine. not excited about it. But is someone gonna like hold me at gunpoint and make me watch it? So I guess I don't have to, I don't have to get like mad about it. I guess is what I'm saying. I've reached the point where
nothing.
I can allow
Yeah,
things to exist.
it's literally
Dave-
just like a bunch of Gmod assets that the guy put together because he just thought they would be funny.
And he was kind of right. I mean, if it wasn't funny, it wouldn't be
He
a
was
thing
dead.
at all.
He was absolutely right. Yeah. It's funny even if you don't watch it. That's how you know it's good. But
Dave has
or
decided,
at least marketable.
Dave has decided that he should get paid to watch ads.
Oh no, yeah, I thought like because Liz was complaining about. She shared a meme with me today where it's like, oh, back when cable TV first started, cable TV was like, oh, you have television, but since you're paying for a cable subscription, now that you're paying for television, there's no ads. Like that was how cable television started.
Yeah, that is how it was.
And then people are like,
That's
oh,
how
and
it was
then
in Britain and everywhere too.
then it got
for a while.
flooded with ads, and then the point of the meme was like that's exactly the pathway that streaming services are going down. So I started ranting and raving about ads because I don't like to watch advertising. But I was like, you know what? If someone paid me to be watching ads, then I'd consider it. Like I think if I would actually consider a streaming service where the streaming service would pay me like $1 credit for every ad that I
That's
watch,
way-
and I could like
that is
have
way too
a
much.
setting on my account where it's like, okay, I will watch up to 10 ads a day if you give me $1 per ad, and then so only give me that number, and after I hit my 10 ad quota, stop showing me ads. Like if I could control it, and if I was getting paid for it, because the people doing the advertising, like they are paying for people to watch their ads. So it's like, why not just cut out the middleman? Like, why don't the advertisers just directly pay the people to watch their ads? You know?
Because that's not how they want to. They don't want to do it that way.
Well, as a customer, that's how I would like to do it. I'd like to have all the power and control and be like, I think today I will watch 4 of ads and not 5. And then I get...
Yeah, and the ads are an hour long.
How cool would that be, though? Like, you can just, like, set this thing, and it's like, oh, yeah, I had some Netflix going on in the background, and I watched, like, 10 ads, and look at that, I got $10. My Netflix is paying for itself.
That's way too much money. They would never pay $1 an ad.
Well, then
Yeah, they would barely pay a cent an ad.
Well, that's
Like,
not worth it for me.
People
then.
would still do it.
I would turn it off.
Actually,
it's
people
never
would
it's never
bot it.
worth it. Yeah, it like the whole ad thing is just like, I don't know. It's so stupid to me. Like I think that the ad stuff is like a scam that like people like content providers are running against like these advertisers. They're convincing them like, oh yeah, look, you paid $2 million to advertise Pepsi on YouTube, and now Pepsi is selling just as well as it ever has. Oh, it would have probably went down if people weren't thinking about Pepsi when they're watching YouTube. Everyone who watches YouTube, by the way, uses a fucking ad blocker.
Yeah.
So like they I think that they convince them that like you pay this money to us and then ads will make business for you. And there's no real way to, because like when a Pepsi ad comes up, there's nothing to click on. There's no way to measure conversions, right?
Yeah.
And there never usually is any way to measure conversions unless it's something local.
I'll be right back.
And they get all this money for ads and stuff for these things, and I don't think it's actually even helping these companies very much, especially for things like Pepsi. Who the fuck is going to change what they drink because they saw the Kardashian girl fucking drinking a Pepsi and giving it to a police officer? No one. There are stupid people in this world that ads like can sort of like brainwash into buying stupid things they don't need, but I don't think that's one. I don't think that's going to be very effective.
Are you saying seeing Britney Spears drink Pepsi didn't totally blow your mind, Hazen? You
I
wanted to
didn't
be
even
that?
know there was. I did not even know there was an ad of Britney Spears drinking Pepsi.
That was back in the 2000s.
Oh, I missed. I didn't see that.
For the next generation. You don't remember that? That was a big one.
Da, 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 da.
That was back when
I didn't.
that was back when Bob Dole was promoting Viagra.
Bob Dole.
What? That was so funny. I hated him.
Bob Dole?
I never knew anything about Bob Dole.
I didn't either. I just didn't like him.
Why not?
I don't know anything
He's-
about him, but I hate him.
Yeah, it's generally me in politics. Anyway, no, like he was on TV and he was just really slow in talking, and I thought he was stupid.
The
Bob
only thing
Dole.
I know, the only
Bob
thing I
Dole.
know about him is the Family Guy joke.
What is the Family Guy joke?
He was just talking to like some other politicians. I think it's the episode where Peter is like in Congress or he's with like the cigarette company or something, and he just said like Bob Dole thinks this is pretty good. Bob Dole, Bob Dole, Bob Dole. I miss old Family Guy. Everything now is like these weird, like intricate stories between like the interpersonal shit between the characters, and
I
like
like the
I don't
random
know, I just
ideas.
don't like it. I think after 20 years of doing a show, you probably start to run out of some ideas, right?
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
I still think it will be revealed one day that Family Guy is like the first show to start using AI to do like their animation and writing and stuff. But not it's not, people don't know about it right now, but I think right now they're doing that. But yeah, I miss the old Family Guy where it was sort of like an adventure you would go on with the characters, usually Peter, and through that there would be like all this commentary on like stuff that was kind of going on, and even if you didn't really get the references and know what was happening, it was still just really funny because it was just the way it was presented was just funny. And they don't do it that more. And like there was like a whole season of there was like a whole season of Family Guy. Yeah, I think we were like trying to watch like a couple of them at one point, and like I like that, some of these people here are like very interested in like American TV. Like they know like what
Oh.
some of the American TV stuff is, but they
Cool.
don't know like what you're oh, you are like, a lot of them think if you're just white you're from America, right? So they're like,
Yeah.
oh, you're from there, right? So what people watch. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm from there, sure. I know
Are
what
you
people watch.
are they asking you if you're the Family Guy? If you're Peter Griffin?
Yeah,
Are
I
you
tell them I'm the
there?
Family Guy. It's me. That's me on TV right there.
You
See
should
the,
dress
see the
like that too.
resemblance? Yeah.
Dress like Peter
But
Griffin.
like I'll show them stuff from like, Western TV. Like what do people in the West watch? Like what do they actually watch? And showing them Family Guy and stuff, and they were kind of like laughing at a lot of it, even though there's no way that they would know all the things about like American politicians from like the 2000s and stuff. No way.
Yeah. All right. Right. They don't have to. They know it's supposed to be funny. Maybe they're laughing at what the people look
They
like. Who knows?
they, like just the whole presentation of it is just funny, even if you don't really understand like what they're sort of commenting on or whatever through the comedy. Well, I guess I gotta go to the bathroom now. I need some more coffee too. I'm gonna see if that vending machine has any more in it. It runs out all the time.
Oh.
I'll be right back.
Coffee,
Oh,
coffee,
cool.
coffee. This background painting is looking pretty good. Yeah, I still like, especially for comic stuff, obviously, but in general, I still like doing the detailed background drawings in pencil first. But especially for something like this, where it's a little bit more of like a soft mood we're going for, I think the just going straight to paint
Well,
kind of works, actually.
Yeah, I mean, you could have left that whole sky blank. There would have been nothing for me to do.
Do. Now it's time to shade Nizuna to match the setting.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Minor detail, yes.
You putting burnt paper texture on it?
Yep.
It looked better without.
What?
Oh,
Everything looks better
sorry,
with
honey.
burnt paper texture.
Nope.
9 out of 10 kids agree. Burnt paper texture.
I'm the 10th kid.
What? Oh, that's right. That's actually... Yeah, like would be over there. The 10th kid has been identified.
Now she's going through the dock.
She's just falling straight through. She's clipping clipping through the dock.
She probably needs 3 legs in order to get by.
Yeah, that's why I originally gave her tripod legs so she'd be more stable. But then everyone was like, David, it's a mistake. Characters don't have 3 legs. And I'm like, oh, they should, but I'll fix it just because you people are making me.
Are you AI, Dave? Adding, yeah, like,
AI knows what it's doing. It's creating a chemically superior, stable mixture for organic beans. But then we're like, oh no, you're not supposed to have 37 fingers. You just don't know what would be good. AI is here to educate us.
Yeah, AI is like, you should have 37 fingers. Shut up.
AI is like, you wish you had 37. You guys would be so much better off if you had 37 fingers.
This is the ideal human. This is not you. This is the ideal human. You need more fingers.
Exactly. It's like the Invader Zim quote, more organs means more human.
Yeah, I love that. It's so gross.
I haven't seen Invader Zim in a while. That's a good one.
You could. You have it.
Yeah. Right now we're on the Gravity Falls kick, though. I want to finish Gravity Falls
Oh, I know.
first.
I know. And then we got to do all the commentary.
Oh, yeah, that'll be fun. Are you, like, humming a little song to yourself?
Yep, I'm not spoiling lore questions. I'm telling them I can't tell them the lore questions.
Do you always hum that song to yourself when you're like, I'm not going to answer your question?
No. No.
It'd be funny if you did. It'd be fun if if that was your like, I'm not answering your questions hum.
It would be a little Jeopardy song.
Yeah.
It's the no spoiler song. No spoiler. It seems very weird to me that people think we just would give out spoilers in chat. Like, very strange.
I don't know. It doesn't hurt to ask. It's probably.
I know. It just makes me wonder if other artists or story people do it too. If we just get a little too chatty and then the lore flies out.
Lore starts splattering the walls, flying all over the place. Let's apply that mask to the layer. Good.
Yum, yum. Layers. Good.
Is that good coffee?
The vending machine was out. I had to get the stupid coffee from the lobby. That's awful. So to go all the way downstairs.
Yay.
Yuck. Yeah, they do duck, or not duck. They do duck here too, but they do braised goose really good
Ooh.
here, which I've never had before. I've never had goose. Um, I didn't know it was goose. I thought it was like just like a really weird pork chop.
Hmm.
But it's good. It's like oilier turkey.
That sounds really good, actually.
It's like
Well,
fattier turkey. Yeah, it's I actually like it a lot, and you can get it at these little like food stand, like like street food type thing. I don't know. I know it's stupid, and people will call me gay, but I love eating at those little food things like once a week because they're just even though that some days the air is not you shouldn't breathe the air, but like I love eating at those because you just, especially at night, if there's anything sort of lit up or neon around there, you feel like you're in Blade Runner when you're
oh, that
eating
sounds
at
cool.
those.
Oh, that's cool.
Well,
It's like one of the few experiences had here where I'm just like, yeah, I'm looking forward to doing that again this week.
the only
I would
thing.
wear
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say I would wear like a duster and everything, but it's always hot. It's always hot here.
The only thing Dave knows about China is from what he learned in Kung Fu Panda, where everyone is either a goose, a pig, or a rabbit.
Correct.
But that's real.
I knew it. I knew it.
They
Told
don't
you.
tell you this on TV, but that's real. When you come here, everyone is either a goose or a pig or a rabbit,
Yeah.
and they all know
But there's
kung fu.
and there's noodles.
There is a lot of of noodles. There
Yay!
really is no joke. A lot of noodles.
Noodles.
You would try pork belly in China. You can. I think you can. Like pork bellies in like Europe and places. I'm sure it's available anywhere. Really, right?
I
You
don't
guys have
know the
pork belly in
difference between.
America?
I don't pork and pork belly. Is there a difference?
No, like in the grocery store, I don't usually get much pork because blah blah blah. But there's always pork loin, but there's never like pork belly.
You have pork neck bones.
Yeah, pork neck bones are good for soup. I'll make an
I
exception for
think
those.
bacon is there. Like in Europe, the bacon is like I think it's just the top of that in America, but like the bacon's like a whole slice of thing there.
You know they add sugar
So
to bacon in America.
they add sugar to everything in
I
America.
know
Your
they
bread
do.
has sugar
I
in it,
know.
but
Oof.
the bacon, I think the bacon that they have there is just like long strips of pork belly.
Ooh.
Oh, sounds good.
What made me want to go to China? Work. Well, I didn't have to go, but there was money to be made here, and I like money, so I came.
Oh, I should explain when I was talking about like a lawyer who likes AI. It's actually about a character that's in the Tectonic show we're working on.
Oh, is it?
Yes. He's like a space alien guy, but it's under wraps.
I'm a lawyer from space. I like AI. That's
Yeah.
his voice.
Is it now?
What he sounds like.
There's a possibility. You never know.
We'll see.
I know it's been on the back burner, but I'd still like to get an episode produced maybe like next year if we can. That'd be fun.
No, I know. Actually, I'm supposed to be storyboarding again today. I know the audio's not ready, but Dave says that I could piece together something really, really crappy and just work on it. I was getting really ambitious. Oh, it was terrible. I was supposed to be storyboarding a spaceship scene, and I'm supposed to be using these recycled assets that are already done, but I kept on drawing in these new like perspective scenes that would look really cool, but it'd be so much work for Dave. I know, it's just like, oh god.
Oh, every...
Well,
Because I know
sometimes
him.
we
I
you'll
know,
have
but
to
I
do
know,
things like that. But
Yeah.
but if he sees it, he's gonna want to do it, even though he doesn't have to do it, and it's just putting him through pain and so much work.
Well, the
And our
pain
goblin would be sad.
the pain is when I see a spaceship shot and then I'm like, I can make this look so cool, and now I can't stop myself. That's what happens.
Exactly. It'll be Dave would be like, but we could use the ship in perspective going from top to bottom.
You don't
And he'll do
understand.
it.
If we just use the toon shader in Blender, it'll look so mechanical and lame, like all of those other animes that use CG spaceships. It's not the same as when they drew them by hand. It'll look so much more dynamic and fluid if I do this ship rotation in 3 dimensions over 2 minutes by hand.
And that's what
By
happens.
ham.
But I mean,
The ham.
I'm serious though. Like, it can't just be me. When I see stuff in anime, and then suddenly you switch from like anime characters, and there's like a spaceship flying around, and the spaceship is clearly a CG model that's like rotating on like every axis and like like spinning through space, and it's got like just a toon shader slapped on it. Like, to me, that feels so lifeless. I like it better when they would have like spaceships that had like a static angle, but they were hand drawn in like older animes. I just thought that looked better. Is it? I wonder if that's just because my
Yeah.
tastes got fried in when I was like younger, or what?
Yes.
I don't think so. Well, maybe a little, but like I think that when you have things that are like that are just like moving around too much, like it can make them feel a lot like fake. They do like there's CG that they do that like they animate well, and you can tell it's very obviously CG,
Sure.
but it works well. Like the Ghost in the Shell anime. Uh, they have those spider robot things that
Yeah.
have like the little like lolly character voice or whatever. Yeah, they're very clearly CG, but they work very well even next to the characters that are hand animated and hand drawn, because they're animated and shaded in a way where it like it blends well. They're still obviously CG, and they knew that was like a limitation, but they animated them and made them move and act and behave in ways that made them fit in well with the other characters. There's also there's things that have come out now where if you really look, you can tell some of the animation stuff is CG, but they've done things to it specifically to make it emulate hand-drawn animation so
Yeah.
well that it's not like Rick and Morty. Do you know Rick and Morty? Not just the spaceships and stuff, but like the characters. A lot of the time, they'll like if you really look at it, they're animated with CG models and stuff. That anime that come out a couple of years. Oh, it's been a couple of years now, hasn't it? Yeah. Chainsaw Man. Chainsaw Man has a lot of CG in it, but it's visually depicted, rendered so well, and it's animated so well that mimics the rest of the hand-drawn animation style that it's like there's times when you can really see it, but most of the time it's usually if you can see it, it's because someone didn't have time to like get the lighting on something just right or something like that. Like
I noticed the vehicles in Gravity Falls are the same way with the CG fitted in there, just like Futurama's with their spaceships.
Yeah, like for some reason, like the Futurama and Gravity Falls, when they do vehicles that are obviously CG, it's not as discordant. Like, it actually just looks like it fits the style fine. Like, it doesn't like ring any alarm bells for me. It's only when I think especially I noticed it when I was like looking at, because I grew up on Toonami Robotech, and then I saw, oh, there's like a new Robotech thing over here. I forget if it was on YouTube or something. Oh, new updated Robotech. This might be kind of badass. But then as soon as I saw like really, really, really obviously primitive CG spaceships just like rotating around like too much, I was just like, oh, this doesn't look good.
And then you have things like the new Berserk cartoon, where
Yeah.
they literally have him just like bouncing up and down to walk off screen. It looks so awful. It's such an insult to anyone who ever liked any form of Berserk.
Yeah. So I don't know, like, I think AI in some ways is going to be similar to this, to CG, where it's like it's a tool that is going to be able to do a lot, and it will enable more people to make more things and like open up new horizons of production. But it's going to be like the more powerful a tool is, the more it is going to matter so much if it is used well or not.
Yeah. What Mamo was doing some AI animations of some of the Dreamkeepers characters and art in there today.
Yeah,
And that, they weren't they weren't perfect, but they were like it's head and shoulders above where it was a year ago
Yes.
with animation stuff.
That's kind of why I feel like there's a meeting point, right? Like I feel like if we can continue growing with Vivid, doing more stuff and expanding our animation capabilities, and I feel like me being able to do like a captain's log video every few months, like that's a little something with video. It's using some animation assets a little bit recycled, but if I can start there and just like slowly start nudging towards more animation in like skirmish video games, maybe we can get like a fully animated Tectonic episode out there at some point. I feel like the more we start taking baby steps into testing the waters, dipping our toe into doing a little bit more animation here, a little bit more animation there, I feel like as AI improves, I do think there's going to be a meeting point where the tool improves to the point and our animation capabilities and productions improve to the point where they intersect, and it's going to be like, oh, now we have the ability to do some like actual really cool animated adaptations of Vivid stuff. Like I don't think we're there yet, but I think if we just keep on inching towards it, I think there's going to be a juncture between the tools improving and our experience getting to the point where we can actually start doing some really cool stuff.
Well, all of the I think there's a couple of these that aren't like the, but all of the animation stuff I've seen with AI before, the reason I haven't really like fuck with any of it at all is because it seems like it's all like the models for how things are animated
Mm-hmm.
are almost always like real. Like they're always like real people captured on camera with real motion. There's a new thing with WAN now, the 2.2. I don't remember what it's called, but you can basically just have a picture of a character and then you can record yourself doing something as though it's like motion capture.
Yeah.
And you can animate the character doing that. Like if you just use like the I don't know if it's using open pose or what. I'm assuming it's some sort of control net thing, but it does that like really easy. Well, I say easy, but you know, I think it's comfy UI only and shit like that. So I don't know how easy it really is, but the animation on the point is the animation on it is really, really smooth, but it's still smooth. It's too smooth. It's like, it's smooth. It's good if you're trying to do like a Pixar thing, right?
Yeah. Or if you're trying to do something that's like
not,
imitating like actual real people, like if you're trying to make something that's literally photorealistic.
If you're trying to do something that's like 24, 30 frames per second, then you're good. But like if you're trying to do like 90s cartoons or anime or something like that, it's no good for that. And you can change it to where, oh, it only does so many frames per second, but then it just captures like still like chopped frames of real motion. And it doesn't understand things like smear frames or any kind of like, you know, communicating the motion of things to a viewer. Like it doesn't understand those types of things yet. I think it will. I think one day someone will like find a bunch of like animation frames and they'll put it into one of these things and train a model on it.
Well, actually,
and then we'll have something to go on from there.
That's kind of one of the reasons. Like I would be doing this for Skirmish anyways, because it'll be cooler this way. But one of like sort of the secret reasons with Skirmish, and I'm like, yeah, let's just do tons of animation for Skirmish, is because I sort of feel like, well, if I can do all these illustrations and comic panels and it can actually be used to train AI to make cool illustrations, what I would love in the future is AI as an animation tool. And I've been noticing the same thing as you with AI animations just across the board, where it's like, they're really good at like imitating human motion, because people are dumping so much video data into these like things. So it's like, okay, so it can make things move like a real person. But, you know, I've worked enough with animation to know that that's definitely, if you're going for like an actual animation style, that's like the last thing on earth that you want, actually. And I think that when people start using AI as like a cheap production tool, you're going to see a ton of that, like right out the gate. Like animation's just like moving around like a person, or like a VTuber, where it's just like, hey, I'm like a puppet, everything's constantly drifting, everything is always moving all the time. But when you actually make hand-drawn animation, you know, like, okay, you have to have clear keyframes. You need to give time in the keyframes so that the viewer's brain has time to register what they're seeing, what the pose is. Like, it's not even so much about like, are you putting the right pictures on the screen? It's like, are you accommodating the person's perception so that their brain has the time to get the message that you are trying to deliver with your animation? And even then, like, the exact number of in-betweens, how fast they go, and like whether the in-betweens have like a smear frame or that stuff actually matters. That stuff matters a lot. So to date, I've been like, oh, AI is learning a lot, but it doesn't have like the ability to make animation move like animation yet. Everything is moving kind of like it's people. It's very floaty.
Yeah. That's the first stage of all this AI stuff too. I remember we were talking about the Chroma thing that's come out lately, and I know right now Chroma looks a little weird with some of the like Lauras and stuff people are making from it, but there are Lauras that have come out that look very good with Chroma, and Chroma is basically I know this will mean nothing to people who don't like follow anything to do with AI. Because usually those are people who just don't have interest either way, or people who they hate AI because they think it's literally like, oh, you just steal art and press a button and you get whatever you want. That could not be further from the truth. But like, there's a new model that's come out that's called Chroma, and Chroma is, I think it's based on Flux. And Flux is like a professional grade. It can make like absolutely photoreal, indistinguishable, like from real pictures type things. And Chroma is like an open source answer to that. And it can use, I believe it can actually use some of the Flux Lauras. It can do things that Flux can't do. Like you can still use negative prompts with Chroma. And I think that things like Chroma will be the future. But like, what is Chroma famous for? The same thing Flux is famous for. It's famous for creating these very high detailed, high resolution images that are accurate to what you're describing, even if you're not like using a LoRa most of the time. And it's very good at making those things be, as long as it's something photoreal, pretty indistinguishable from an actual photograph of a thing. That's how all these AI things start out. Whoever it is usually that pioneers these models and pioneers this technology, they're usually someone who is attempting to like get that out of it. They're trying to get something that's more like photoreal. So the animation and the video stuff, that's kind of where that's at right now, is they're trying to make something that's like photoreal. But shortly after that, usually within a year maximum, when some of this stuff actually starts to pick up traction and people have an interest in it, you start to see people training LoRa's or training models that are completely to do with like mimicking the hand-drawn sort of style of things. Another thing Chroma and Flux do pretty well is text. They can do text art very well, and they can do hands and feet and things like that. Stuff that most, even like the later things now, like Noob AI and Illustrious, they sometimes mess those things up and they don't really usually get them right. But for whatever reason, however it is that they trained Flux and Chroma, those things not only get those things right, but they have special encoders that are used to produce text 99% of the time. 99% of the time you're using these, the text is correct, and it's what you describe you want as the text, where you want the text to be, and not anywhere else. So like you can say like, oh well, it's just good at photorealism stuff for now, or you can say like, oh well, it's doing photorealism stuff. That is typically the beginning of that chain. So I think probably within a year or less, we're probably going to see something out there that will work with WAN or Kling or something like that. Probably, I would say probably WAN, just because WAN is like open source. Excuse me. But you're going to see something that can animate things that is going to be. It might not be exactly what you envision, but the quality of it and whatever it is that it does produce will be indistinguishable from like 90s like era, potentially even like Disney animation renaissance, like Lion King and things like that. I think that's cool too, but I'm personally way more interested in like 90s cartoon, like Sad AM and
Yes.
you know, DuckTales, those kinds of things. Like if you can have something that's animated like that, and it can even maybe even emulate like the grain and the sort of like a chromatic aberration and that kind of stuff. If you can get an animation thing to do that, that like pretty much anyone with a good computer could use, that will, whether you like it or not, whether you're in the industry and you think you're going to be out of a job or not, once that genie is out of the bottle, it will revolutionize the way animation is produced. And there are, again, two ways you can look at this. You can look at it like, oh, people who have spent their life learning how to animate, they will no longer be able to have jobs, some of them, most of them. Yes, you, that's true, and that sucks. Like a lot of those people probably won't. But the other way you can look at this is that anyone who has even a rudimentary understand, the more understanding you have of animation, the better. But anyone who has even a rudimentary understanding of animation can now, like with the audio, the music, the art generation, and the animation stuff that AI has, you can produce your own cartoon, your own series, your own feature length movie if you want. And it can be all yours. It can be everything you want. You will not have to listen to any studio that tells you you can't have this in your show. You won't have to listen to any actors that say, well, I have a list of special rules and I don't do this type of voice work unless it's on a Wednesday and I have 2 liters of Starbucks. Like this just, you would like, people don't understand what it's like sometimes. Like most of the time working with people who do entertainment things is totally fine. There's no you know, real problems with any of that kind of stuff, right? But when you run into one person who is very hard to work with, it can completely throw off. Like I have a friend who he does like these, I don't really watch them myself, but he does these 3D porn animations, and he would hire voice actors to act out the characters and stuff. He had a voice actress one time who agreed, you know, read the script, agreed to do the lines, and then he handed her the lines, and she handed him back a pile of the lines that were supposed to be done with one missing. And he asked her, he said, I need this one line because it's critical for like the scene to change over. I need that done. And she just sent him a message back and said, oh, well, I have a special rule. And my special rule is that I don't do lines that say the name of someone's original character in them for some reason.
What?
Yeah, like that is already like, what kind of rule is, what is that preventing for you not to do that? But he said, I sent you the script, you read this, you took the money, I need this line. Can we compromise? Can we have like, you know, you say like the initial of the guy or something, just call him like B or K or something like that. Then you won't have to violate your special rules that I didn't know about till I ran into the wall of them, right? So
Wow, that's
she
the
said,
thing.
yeah, and then she goes, no, I can't do that because I know it will be the original character's name. That's really what she's trying to say. So his entire production was thrown off because of a special rule that someone had who's not in any kind of union, so there's no one you can appeal to about it. And he had, I don't know what he did. Again, I don't he's my friend. I don't typically watch the stuff that he produces because it's not my kind of thing. But his entire production for this thing, he has patrons and stuff, you know, like people were waiting on this thing to come out, and I have no idea what he did to remedy that. But with, you have things like this, you don't have to worry about things like that. And people will complain and say, oh, well, you know, that's because you're not having to pay anyone. Yes, you're not having to pay anyone. You're not having to do any of this stuff. Like I do all of this stuff. People always say, oh, you think this way because it doesn't affect you. It does affect me. I do music contracts. I do music contracts for companies that you've probably seen before. They still hire me for now, but like once they figure out that they can make a lot of the stuff I'm making probably with AI, that's not going to probably be the case as much, if at all. I do voice acting, I do audio editing, I do a lot of stuff, I do video editing, all that stuff. There are AIs now that can do a lot of that stuff faster and more effective than I can do it. And you know, the way I look at that is, well, I may have to make a change and what I'm producing. There's probably going to be less people as this stuff becomes more prevalent and younger people grow up using it and knowing how to use it, that are not going to hire me to do work. So now I need to take these things and figure out how to do my own thing, or just find some other line of work. Like that's just life. Things move around and you have to adapt to them. Or you can sit and complain on blue sky about how you don't like where things are going. Well, they're still going to go there, whether you like it or not.
But complaining is fun and easy.
Complaining is fun and easy. And I think these people get like a little burst of people coming in and being like, oh, you are upset, I will commission you or something, you know, or I will donate more to your Patreon. They get like, you know, 100 people. Well, on Blue Sky, it's usually more like 10, but they get like 10 people to come in and they go, yes, you are right. You are absolutely right. Yes, yes. Yep. I love you. And then I guess that makes them feel better about the future. I do not know how these people like think about this stuff, but to me, if I went on Twitter or Blue Sky or something and I said, wow, music AI is getting really good, I still produce music manually for people who pay me for it, because frankly it would be, you know, I don't know, people would probably be upset if I used that or something, you know, but like I still do that for now, but like eventually people probably are going to figure out that they can produce a lot of this stuff themselves, and I'll be left with only customers who want to do this because they're friends with me or they want to support me or something, you know. There's people out there who just are completely opposed to AI and they don't want to use it at all, and that's fine. I make more money off those people because they want to use someone who knows how to do it manually. And there's still a lot you can do manually making music that AI can't do. You can type what you want in an AI and it can produce things, but what you can't do is it's legally more difficult to make like parody songs, or you can't like have an AI go in and be like, all right, I want this song, and then you get the song you have, but it has like an annoying trumpet in it. And you can't go in and tell the AI like, hey, make this song again, but just remove the trumpet.
Well, yeah,
It will
doesn't AI
remove
like
the trumpet.
change the whole thing?
It will remove the trumpet, and then it will make everything slightly different because
Oh.
it's just generating things on a seed. And I don't think most of the sites that do audio generation stuff allow you to control with what the seed is. And even if they do, the prompt is different. So like what you're getting is not always the same. You versus like if you write everything, you can just go in and just like mute that track or remove it, and you just don't. Now you have the exact same thing just without the trumpet.
I feel like that's a very, very similar issue with producing like a comic image or a panel or something. That's why it's like so helpful to have every single layer. If I want to change the lighting on something or emphasize the contrast, it's like I can just go to that layer and tweak it. Whereas if I was trying to work with something in AI, it's like, oh, I generated this image and I want to change something in there, but I can't go in and do that specific thing in that specific layer because it doesn't exist that way.
So you kind of can. You don't have access to the layers, and I am curious where AI will go from here with specifically image generation, because with image generation right now, you don't have layers that you can go in and effect. But you can just generate layers. You can generate a background, and then you can do image to image or in painting, and you can go in and just draw like the outline of a person doing something, and then you can just describe what that person is and what you want them to be doing, and then the AI will put that there, and then you can remove the background, and now you have layers. So you can still kind of have layers. It's just more work. And what I'm curious about with image generation specifically is, are they going to start making some form of AI, probably used through something like Comfy, where you can have ControlNet determine the depth of an image, and it can either just generate layer like a PSD or whatever it is that goes in these image these art programs like CSP and Photoshop, will it just generate a PSD with layers? Will those layers be correct, or will it generate the image first and then you can use ControlNet to get layers from the depth readings? Or will they just forego all of that, and will in painting and image to image stuff become so prevalent and so good where it almost really is now? If you know what you're doing with it, you can almost just get what you want from that right now. Will that become so prevalent that if you know how to use things like ControlNet, which is not super complicated, uh, you will be able to just generate your own layers, or you'll just not even have a need for layers, really. You can just generate a background based on what you want, and then you can just sketch in with colors what, like, I want a beach scene with the text "bye bye summer" in the top left, and this is sunset, and there's bleachers in the foreground, and in the middle ground there's like a little fence, and the background is just like the sandy beach, a couple umbrellas. There are some pink and orange and back there, and then there's like some what are those things, power lines. There's the power lines that are coming on either side from the foreground extending into the background, and then like you just generate that, and then you take the image version of that you like, and then you just draw like little pink and white and stuff in there, and like some yellow for the hat, and then you just prompt the image to image thing to say, I want Nazuna Iwakami, or whatever her last name is. I want her in there, and this is the Laura I want you to use to produce art of her. I want it in the style of this artist, and I want her to have flip-flops on that are dangling from her toes, and I want her tail to be on kind of over the bleacher, and I want a straw hat on her, like on the back of her neck, and she's eating a popsicle that's this color. Like, you just prompt it for that, and then you just get like 8 to 16 generations of that, and then you
I
just
have a
find the one that you're happy with.
question though. Don't you need to have like 50 images close to that in the system to make that happen?
Well, that's where the models are. Like the
Okay.
models contain the training data from those images.
Right. But then once you get your 50 pictures, you could just do this.
Well, if you have a
Kind
model,
of.
you already have enough images to create the model usually, unless someone doesn't know what they're doing. But
Yeah.
uh, I think that's what you're asking, is to just generate the image in the first place. You need to train a model on those images, right? Is that what you're
Right.
asking?
Right.
Yeah, that's the model will contain, like, some of those models contain millions of images, I think.
Oh.
Like, there are some of those models that have like the entirety, or most, like a lot of the E621 database. It's just all been scraped, and the tags from it has been scraped, so that the system kind of, I think Illustrious and Noob AI work that way. I'm not sure, like, don't quote me as like this is definitely how they were put together. Hazen said so. I don't know how they're trained. I've never trained a model or anything. Mamo probably would know more about that. Noob AI has 13 million, he says. Okay, yeah. So, like, there you go. 13 million images that are baked into a file that's like usually between 6 and 8 gigabytes, and that's your checkpoint model. So that has all of the images that you need. But if you really need a specific thing in like a specific style, that's where the LoRa comes in, which is like a smaller model that works on top of the checkpoint model to say, okay, generate from latent noise at these dimensions this scene, and then once that's generated and you have basic shapes, take this other model, this LoRa that I'm putting on top, and I want you to generate them in the style of the B&A anime, or in the style of Berserk, or whatever it is you want the style, or in the style of Dreamkeepers, but you have to have that LoRa, and that LoRa has to be trained on those images like you're saying, and it has to be tagged right. Like, there's a lot of work that goes into training these models, and you have to have specific software, and if you're doing it on your own machine locally, you have to have a pretty good machine to do it. So again, yeah, it's even for the end user who just receives these models and uses them, it is more than just generate thing I want, beep, cool, the best image you've ever seen in your life. It doesn't really work that way. There's still a lot of work that goes into these. I could talk about this all night. So if you want to talk about something else, just stop me and say we should change the subject to something else.
Well, actually, I think your timing is pretty good because I've completed the shading on
Oh,
this.
that looks great. Yeah.
And I'm gonna do later on is I'm just gonna like get like an A and B frame for that little leg, so it's like kicking a little bit. I might put a few glitters on that water there. Actually, this might be a good potentially. This might be a good like lo-fi background image too. Now that I'm thinking about it.
You can make the water look like it's moving a little. Yeah.
Yeah, the water rippling a little bit, just some sparkle moving on the water. It would be pretty easy. But I'm gonna do that later because I'm starting to get hungry for dinner now, and I feel like I'm at a pretty good stopping point. Dinner.
Yeah, I guess you didn't eat.
I had a snack before I started the stream though, because I knew like I want to get some serious tracks laid down on this image, so I need a snack to tide me over, and I did it.
Snack attack. Wait, did you finish this?
Yeah, except for like me adding some little animation flourishes, I think this is done. So it's time for snacking. I mean dinner. It's time for dinner. Well,
I thought she was sitting on bleachers. It's scaffolding.
yeah, it was scaffolding because the thing with bleachers is there'd be too much shit that you wouldn't be able to see her feet because it'd be blocked by like the back of the next set of bleachers.
Don't you need to animate that leg?
That's
What are you doing?
important too.
Yeah, like actually I started drawing it in as bleachers, like I blued it in as bleachers, and I was like looking at bleacher reference, this is actually gonna just not make any sense. And if she's sitting at like the railing up at the very top back of the bleachers, it's like, well, then she can't be leaning back, and I kind of like the leaning back pose. It gives a little more of a relaxed sense to things. So I was like, okay, fuck it, she's on scaffolding, she's invaded a construction site. Nizuna invasion commenced.
Dun, 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 dun.
Exactly.
It looks good. It looks really good.
Thank
I
you.
like her legs a lot. How they're positioned.
Yeah, just sort of it had this feeling
Very
today
carefree.
too. Today it felt like it was like warm, but it was also over. It's like the day where you can feel summer and fall at the same time. It's just got that vibe right now. So I think this is a timely piece.
I agree looking at it. Yeah. The more I look at it, I mean, I don't have like the Picardo stream up huge. It's like in the corner, but like I'm looking at it and it's yeah. Okay. Now that you zoom in a little, I guess I could just make it bigger. That looks really good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Nizuna. It's a brand new animal. I think this is good. So I'm gonna call it a stream and get some dinner. Thanks for popping in and chilling. It was fun. Thanks everybody for watching.
Yeah.
Always happy to invade.
Yeah.
It's always more fun that way.
Hey, and by the
fake.
way, when the stream ends, I still need to talk to you two off stream.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. We're in trouble, boys.
Dun dun dun. Well, stream ends in 5, 4, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2,